we lost one of the members dropped out. Unfortunately, he couldn't meet up with the deliverables, so he dropped out. And that's basically it. We've just been encouraging ourselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cassandra, for the feedback. Before we go to the next group president, of course, Monique, of course, she's joining us from the FI family, the global family. Of course, she will quickly do a presentation now. Once she's done, we'll come back to the other group president to give us a feedback of their activities. Monique, are you set?
Yeah, well, yes, I think I could share something. And it's funny, listening to the team members, the team captains, of what their issues have been, has been very insightful from my perspective. I think you see my presentation. Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Let me just put it here.
Yes.
So a few things I wanted to say. I wanted to set it up for the team here. When I was asked to talk about go-to-market, it was a lot of hygienics that were involved. How do you scale? There were issues around scaling, which I heard. There were issues around legal and regulatory. I think if I were to summarize, it's all about building your ecosystem, and also thinking about IPR, patent issues, especially as a startup. And it depends fundamentally as to what kind of company, what kind of startup you're trying to be, and what kind of vertical. So whether, and I think this is very, very important. I also would say, I would be very cautious in talking about anything like a GDP, because maybe that's the wrong metric. So I have a few slides that I put together just to kind of stimulate a bit of thought. And based on my own experiences here on what go-to-markets can be about. And it really is issues around, one of the things that you have as a takeaway, and you'll note this when I ask you questions, is going to be all about the narrative. Take me on the journey. So rather than preparing something that looks very, very scientific, I wanted to kind of talk to you about something that I've been, this is one group that I had to help form, which is called the Humanized Internet. And in this particular case, because I'm involved in several types of organizations that I've had start up, this is an example of a nonprofit. And I think this is really interesting, because though here I'm sure I'll be listening to revenue generating, maybe not, but a nonprofit kind of an organization. One of the things that I will stress, it's, please don't forget about the narrative. Last night when I was listening in the Abuja group, people were those who took me on a narrative, I really got quite inspired. So it's about how you're going to inspire the person you're asking for funding, right? And in this case, I'm going to talk to you because it's in the context of what the Humanized Internet had been all about, which is about the internet as we know it, and some kind of new metric, which is around the fair use of data and fair data economy. That point particularly was highlighted in an earlier meeting that I had today with regard to Smart Africa and artificial intelligence. And some of the groups have been talking about how do you deal with fair use of data, privacy, and so on. And so you have to, when you're thinking about regulations and around go-to-market, sometimes these are the issues that you'll hit very, very early on. So if you haven't seen this slide before, this is a big slide, but the whole point of this slide is to tell you, or as I had been looking at the narrative, is the internet as we experience. One of the points that you will kind of think about is data never sleeps. And this is constantly being updated, and it has everything to deal with, especially when we talk about the continent, right? And when we're talking about, think about Nigeria as a whole, you could take and extrapolate this just under your own context. But it is about data that never sleeps. And why is that very important? This type of slide is presented to regulators, it's presented to policymakers, it's presented to the ecosystems that you all strive to develop. And it's really has everything on one slide. You see it in one kind of event. What is happening when you're talking about the internet, and the internet as we know it, the internet that is growing, and so on and so forth. So that's a kind of a point that I'd like to stress. The other point is, again, when we're talking, this Internet of Things came up in yesterday's discussion, especially around Abuja, around hospital care and so on. But one of the things that you're thinking of is the Internet of Things is precipitating what I would call a data economy. So what that would mean for the team members here is that this is a new metric. And by the way, again, I would say in the context of Nigeria, this could be taken even further, right? When people are talking about IoT, Bluetooth, connectivity, creating kinds of what I'll call cloud-oriented, let's say, businesses. And so here, you can think about it in a whole context and horizontal ways of looking at, from manufacturing in terms of your own, in your own businesses. But, when we were examining this particular, just the internet of the humanized internet, this was data, this was data that was captured at the end of 2020, where we're already here. And it's just becoming much more, I would say, exponential. And so data, I continue to say this, but as I said before, data is a big metric. And so, you have to think about that as something new rather than, I've had arguments with folks or discussions around what is a GDP. Of course, you'll talk about TAM, and of course you'll talk about that, but you have to look at it in the context of a country that is so growing so fast. And again, this only creates opportunity. As we said before, one of the things that you have to, we're seeing globally, although this is in the context at the time I had been doing, the startup, is that the Boston BCG actually came out and said, well, look, data will become much more personalized. And in some of the narratives I heard yesterday of Abuja, it was a lot of, there was a personalization context of it, but with it, and that becomes, you've heard it, data is the new oil, data is currency, data never sleeps. But one of the points, especially for some of the startups that I had heard, was the issue of privacy, especially when we were talking about medical data, right? So, what kinds of privacy are you going to, are you going to adopting HIPAA? What are the privacy laws that you have to take in consideration? Because, and this was also a topic when we were talking about artificial intelligence and smart Africa, is that with it will come privacy concerns. And so these will be questions, you could imagine the types of questions that I could be asking you around, especially depending upon the startup that you're talking about, depending upon the vertical, is what are you doing with regard to privacy regulation? How are you dealing with that? How are you creating your ecosystem? Are you involving regulators? Are you involving, who are you involving? And so that's really something of very much concern. And I think the last point, I believe in very simplicity when I present, Occam's razor, if you've heard of Occam's razor, it's all about, for those who are technologists in the audience here, Occam's razor is all about simplicity. You have to, if you're going to develop an awareness of the technology implications, because technology is, especially for those who are presenting, please be cognizant of the fact that this is about tools. So again, that's very important. Fair use of data and the fair data economy, big topic today. It is now in IEEE, these standards organizations internationally, discussed, as I keep stating before, in the whole notion of artificial intelligence and smart Africa. People are now talking about fair use of data. And I cannot stress more that the narrative is much more, very, very important. I had an example yesterday was, imagine somebody was taking me on a narrative. It was also, it had an appeal to me personally. It had an appeal to a lot of folks in the group, about imagine that you are this person in the country, and you know, this is all about your personal health care and etc. So the narrative becomes very, very key. One of the things that I will stress here, because I want to continue on some of the discussions, go-to-market's going to be all about teams. And if you don't, you know, I will always look at how close you are as a team. One person not there, which is what I heard earlier, is can break that teaming. And so that's one thing, is how have you formulated your team? How are you interacting with one another? And very, very, very important is to be cognizant of the fact that you have to pivot. You know, pivot is the term where you have to change very quickly if it's not right, if the market doesn't, if you're not seeing testing in the market that, or affirmation in the market that, you know, asserts that perhaps, or a confirmation in the market that your business is the right business. Questions that we will often ask is, have you tested it? What has been the feedback? You know, how are you dealing with the competition? How are you going to sustain yourselves? You know, how are you going to sustain after a couple of, you know, goes to it beyond your MVP? You have to think beyond that. And if the MVP is not right, you know, you have to be able to go back to the drawing board again. So that's it.
Great, Monique. Thank you so much for that insight. Let me tell you my key points that I noted down. You spoke about data never sleeps, right?
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about the implication of data to our businesses, and of course, how to compare our performance in terms of data usage, you know, with our competitors, which is very key for any business in Nigeria. I would like to give an example with the current EndSARS protest in Nigeria. I think it was on Sunday, I saw the numbers in terms of impressions, about 55 million impressions about EndSARS in Nigeria, which is huge in terms of data consumption, which means that for any business that is not on the internet, right, is losing a huge opportunity. There's a market gap for such business, missing the data. And of course, we know now that data is the new oil. You know, that's why we have like no courses springing up like data science, analytics, for people to, you know, translate data, and now they can use to translate the performance of their businesses, which is key for every new business owner. So thank you, Monique, for such insight, and of course that direction. Then another thing I want to add to it also about data intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very important for businesses, how to, you know, gather data from the market, how to apply it to their business, you know, just to help them with scalability in the market, which is very key for every startups. Again, Monique, thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you again, of course, you know, giving us direction with our founders in Lagos. So thank you so much.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward, my friend.
Right, great.
Hi.
All right.
So go to me, Monique, you're coming back in 30 minutes, right?
No, yes, but I'm still on until 7:30 my time, 6:30 your time. So I'm here until 7:30 is when I have the call my time.
Oh, fantastic.
6:30 your time.
She's still around, so yeah.
No, I'm still here. So I have to, 6:30 your time. I have to go to the other call, but then I'll come back again.
Yeah, because yesterday she was with Abuja team for till like about 10, almost 10.
Oh, it was late.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, great. Thanks, Monique. Thanks for staying back. All right. Before we go to the pitch event, right? We quickly take feedback from the group president for Chameleon. Just a minute each. Chameleon, captains, and of course the blasters. Just a quick brief of the activities over the week, please. Before we go to the pitch event.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Team captains.
Can hear you. Good evening.
Okay, team captains. We were able to meet last week, and what we've done is try to encourage each other as a team, because generally there's so much work to do, but we've told ourselves that we must all try and make it. And the great thing we've done is to exchange our content and ideas. Don't struggle on your own. Whatever you have, that you have a short term, share, tell, and we pass on the information, and we look at what we've done together and improve on it. So that's how we've operated.
Thank you. From the captains, the group president.
Yeah.
Anyone from the captains?
That was captains too.
Okay, great. The blasters.
Yeah, that was captains. Yes, that was captains.
That's fine. The blasters. The group president, please.
Hi, everyone. This is Godwin Thomas. Okay, so
Hi,
I'm the president for Team Blasters. I hope that's how it's pronounced. All right. Okay, so we've had a few meetings since the group was formed. We've had about 4 to 5 meetings, but the latest meeting was yesterday, and we had a very heated discussion. As a matter of fact, one of us invited an expert to join us. I mean, a professional in one of the areas, accounting precisely, finance, to join us to look at the CDS agreement, because there was a heated debate about it. And I suppose that quite a few of us, including myself, are still not very clear about all the dynamics around the CDS. I have had to ask my law firm today to do like a thorough analysis for me, which I'm still expecting their feedback. And this was the same case with my other colleagues. So we're trying to understand the 4% fixed rate, how that applies over 15 years. When does FI exits the business? Is it at the first liquidity event when we probably say we raise $1 million? Is it at that point, or is it, do they have to wait for 15 years? So these were the issues, among many other issues that we've been trying to wrap our heads around. But all in all, we're
Hello. Wow, probably connection problem. All right. Before we go to the pitches, right? We'd like to have one of our mentors.
Along for the purposes of time. That's about it from Team Blasters.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, could you hear me?
Before we go to the pitches, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Before we go to the pitches, right? We quickly allow one of our mentors, Abolore Salami, right? Are you ready for us? We'll be doing a quick presentation, then of course we go to the pitches.
Hello, good afternoon. Okay, this evening. Good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well.
All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you. It's my first time in FI, but I've known FI for a while. So I'm sure you guys are having a fantastic time. I think it'll be helpful if I can, get to know a few of the businesses in the group. Apologies if this was sent to me earlier. Can I get intro from 1 or 2 people? How many minutes do I have, by the way?
15 minutes.
Okay, can I get an intro from 1 or 2 businesses just for context? Who's going to volunteer?
We have businesses from different verticals, so you might not be able to get full gist from any of them.
I just want the 30 seconds version.
So, okay, Godwin Thomas, just a brief.
Thank you. I usually like to have a very interactive session. And since we're...
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Okay, this is Godwin. I am the founder of Wendo. Okay, so perhaps I can give you a bit of a background so it doesn't come up as a surprise to my colleagues. So I started the program trying to build a marketplace for services. for blue collar services primarily. And in the course of the program, I've had to, do like a pivot. I mean, considering our revenue realities, we had to pivot from just services to having an e-commerce marketplace. Of course, with the services side of things being the competitive advantage. Now, the e-commerce marketplace is for consumer appliances. So you can think of it as maybe a Jumia or a Konga for just consumer appliances. So it's a niche market. And we have, say you bought your appliances and from us, so we sell it to you with a complimentary service package, which you can subscribe for. Yes, which you can subscribe for. So say you bought an air conditioner, we can sell you a package that. Yes, please.
Godwin, sorry to cut you. Because of my time, I got the gist. I love it. Fantastic narration. If I had money, I would invest right now.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you.
Thank you, Godwin. Who else wants to go? 30 seconds.
I'll go. Hi, everyone. My name is Osira Miza. I am the founder of Hair Envy. We are the luxury services and solutions provider to key issues plaguing the hair market today and plugging in the inefficiencies within the hair market for badass women who are focused, ambitious, and driven, who do not accept anything less than perfection, 18 and above, and hairstylists, 19 and above as well. Thank you.
All right, just before you go, what do you sell?
So what we do is we sell raw hair products, vetted hair products. We're very big on research and development. So each hair product we provide has been vetted thoroughly, and we have a very specific focus on customer and user experience. And we are also basically stage 2 of that will be to connect the services aspect even better. So between clients and stylists. So people who have been trained, who have been vetted, so that you don't have the issue of investing in somebody who doesn't know what they're actually doing.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So how come you guys don't do?
Hello?
Do this for men or for families? Is it share to this now?
Okay. We're happy to start. We will definitely be starting, but we're starting from the focus group that we understand spends the most, and that's Black women.
Yeah, you'll be surprised though. It's not us that they collect the money from. I'm just kidding, but you get what I mean.
But they choose where they spend it. So we'll start with them for now, and then we'll come and we'll meet you guys very soon.
All right, good. But I've always been looking for a cosmetic products line, and it's going to be for men and families, as a special category, and then for women. I think you kind of the whole idea of beautification, hair, cosmetics, cream should be a family affair. It shouldn't be only my wife's whole drawer that is filled up, and mine is like two things, and that's the end.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Anyways, fantastic. Great stuff. Right. And I run we call it a digital and financial services company. Sorry, did you say something?
No, you can continue, please.
Okay, so just as an intro, I run a digital and financial services company. A lot of people, say we do it, we're a fintech. So you can call us a fintech, but we do a little bit more than that. And maybe hopefully during this 15 minutes chat, I will probably be able to reference some of that. I'm not going to be using any slides. I want to have a very free conversation. I'm going to say 3 or 4 things, and I'm going to let you guys ask questions about maybe some of what we have done to be in the business so far. We have I've done a few good $1 million in revenue, just so that that provides some context. So maybe I can share how we did it, even though we have, in total capital injection in the business, it's a little less than $1 million if you think about it. So again, electronics and a service marketplace, fantastic. I think what I'd love to know is what's your current approach to go to market? And why do you think that you're going to achieve this result exceptionally? So I'm going to use the 2 businesses as the case in driving on my point. I'm going to start with electronics and service market. So I'd love to ask you a few questions. So just please get ready to answer them. But just to give you a general overview of some of the scenarios I've seen in my, let's say between 12 and 14 years experience working for businesses and running businesses, and then get your questions or get you guys thoughts. So it's a conversation, like I said. Now, there's no, from my experience, there's no single path to market. There's no, this is how you must do it. This is how it must be done. I like what first speaker said around, being very conscious about when to pivot. I think that's Monique, if I got that right. And
Yep, that's me.
sometimes it's not fantastic. Hi, Monique. Pleased to meet you.
Absolutely. Likewise.
Yeah, fantastic. And sometimes it's not about, necessarily changing your business. It might not, like Godwin said, he pivoted from being a services platform to an e-commerce platform. I don't think that's a, pure pivot. I like to think of a pivot as where you literally go from building cars to building trains, or running an e-commerce platform to running an healthcare business. That's like a very hard, strong pivot. Some of the others are just sort of, evolution in the process of getting to market. So now, let me give you 3 scenarios. First scenario is our business in the early days. We started off wanting to build an app that helps people save for certain goals. And we built an app that asks them to upload their bank statement. Of course, it didn't work. It died. This was in 2013 because there was no card on file technology, meaning that you couldn't put your card on any platform and would deduct your money to save it for you. Integration with banks was very rare. This was 2013, not 2003, by the way. But by 2015, 2016, things were already changing. So a path to market became clear for that product idea, when things like, API became available, people could put their card on the internet or on a mobile app and money could be debited, so you could sell online. The path to market for that business would probably have been us establishing a microfinance bank that was specifically focused on helping people save. So our go-to-market strategy will have been physical as opposed to digital, as at 2003 or 2013. But of course, a path to market where we are selling online, we're doing a lot of digital marketing, and so on and so forth, was a clear path to market. Now, go-to-market strategy is usually what is called, or go-to-market, GTM strategy. So I want to go back very quickly to the definition of strategy. My own definition, strategy is your target audience, the value proposition you want to deliver to that target audience, and the capabilities you need to have to deliver that value proposition to that target audience. Once you have a very clear alignment of these 3 things, you will successfully go to the market, right? So it's very simple. In my own thoughts, right? You want to sell, you want to become Biggie, right? I'm sure you're all familiar with the Biggie drink. Monique might not know Biggie, so maybe I can provide a bit of context. Biggie is like Coca-Cola, but made by a Nigerian company. And they beat Coca-Cola to their game in Lagos and many parts of the country in the last couple of years or few years. She did the same thing. So they understood the value to their target market. Their target market is people in traffic that want to get a quick drink, 100 naira, or bottled water, 50 naira. They want it to be filling. They want it to be sufficient. They don't mind it to have gas or not have gas. They want it to be easily available. But very tricky part, there's a very interesting part. In thinking about your go-to-market strategy, don't only think about your customer, think about the market. It's not go-to-customer strategy, it's go-to-market strategy. Now, what Biggie did in thinking about their market and how to go to that market is to think about some of the most important points in that market. And one of the most important points in that market are the distributors, your retailers. How much does the product get to that guy on the street for a pack? If the guy can make 40 naira on a bottle of Biggie and 15 naira on a bottle of Coke, it will drop Coke fast. Now, if Biggie is the only thing that is available to the customer wants a carbonated drink, he will try Biggie. And if he says, this Biggie is not bad, though, and Biggie is the only thing that is available to him, he'll just keep trying Biggie. To now make it more exciting, Biggie B increased the volume. The same 100 naira, which is about 30 cents for Monique's sake, the same 100 naira will buy you a bottle of Biggie that is 50% more, that has 50% more quantity or more volume, more content than a bottle of Coca-Cola. And of course, you guys remember the ruckus that happened with Coca-Cola and how they had to quick change their pricing, you know, increasing the size of their bottle, doing all sorts of promo. A global brand trying to compete with a local brand. And guess what? They failed at it. You know, they failed at it 2 or 3 times now. Coca-Cola. They failed with Lacasera. They failed with Chi, which they eventually bought. They are now the largest shareholder in Chi, as you know, Chi drinks. And then they failed with Biggie. So understanding your go-to-market is understanding who are the customers, what value am I trying to provide to them, and what are the capabilities I must possess to be able to deliver that value proposition to that customer. Those capabilities might be best price, faster quality, fastest delivery, best quality. You need to find out what those unique selling points are. And guess what? The unique selling point might actually not even be price. It might just be the quality. I'll give you an example of this in our own scenario. When we started our business, we thought about, oh, how do we go to market and gain the market? Are we going to, you know, sell the best software? Software is a commodity really these days. What are we going to do differently? And we realized that 70% of the people we're trying to sell to, they don't pay for software. So I have a theory. I said Nigerians don't pay. Majority of Nigerians, so when I say Nigeria, I don't mean everybody, but I mean Nigerians generally, majority. Nigerians don't pay for software, they pay for transactions. So the moment you tell somebody, this software is going to do all these fantastic things for you, please pay me 10,000 naira every month or 200 naira every month, even 15 naira every month. Guess what? You're kidding. But repackage that thing and tell that person, every time you do this transaction, I will charge you 1,000 naira. Even if that cost that was 15 naira before, you have repackaged it into that 1,000 naira and it is now 200 naira. Guess what? Your transactions will go off the chart. So my point here is understanding the customer, and we understanding the customer, we decide, okay, we're going to give our software as free as possible to majority of the market. We're going to use that volume and that affinity. And for example, right now we have a partnership signed with Lagos State to automate all of our portion of that market. I'm not going to say which, because Lagos hasn't announced it yet, but there's a major part of the entire, a huge portion, a couple million people in Lagos State who need one of our software. By the way, don't worry, you don't know all of our software. There are some software we have that we don't even talk about in public. But the reason why Lagos State is comfortable signing that with us is because we have done it successfully for a huge number of people. And guess what? Most of those people, we did it for them for free. But then we take that same product and we sell it to a bank, a big bank, and say, hey, guess what? This is number of people using this software to do these things successfully well. We know you want to also sell to these people. We can deliver an excellent job. That has been 80% of our revenue to date. So just by the way, you know, for those that are here, I like CFA a lot, so I'm giving you some of our secret sauce. That's where 80% of our revenue has come from large enterprise clients who have seen the success of our software product. For our retail customers, majority of whom cannot afford it, and I've said, hey, we like what you guys are doing. We want to pay you for it. The same thing is what Facebook does or Google does, right? They give you the product for free, Gmail, Google Maps, and so on and so forth. And then they turn around and say, hey, Uber, guess what? We have this fantastic technology. You can put it in your Uber app and pay us X amount. They tell XYZ, hey, you know, we have this huge Facebook platform. It has 2 billion people. Come and advertise on it, you know, for small amount. And that is a combination of them going to market and then pricing their product in a way that, you know, meets their requirements. So for sake of time, I'll stop here, and I would say, number one, 3 things I think we need to take away when we are designing our go-to-market strategy. What is that market? Who are the critical players in that market, right? From the actual users to the people that we pay, who are really the customers and the clients, to the people that will sell it for you, your partners, your affiliates, your service providers, your app product suppliers, your whatever. Then your regulators. Guys, you know, if you live in Lagos, if you do business in Lagos or Nigeria or Abuja, you are definitely aware that regulator is an extremely important part of that piece. A lot of businesses have died because regulation just messed them up within a couple of years, even after investing millions of dollars. Your community, yeah, all of those things you need to analyze, and then you need to ask yourself, what
Hello?
some you guys lost?
Yeah, we lost you just a bit. Hello?
Hello, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Apologies. So I was saying, understand all of the various elements in that market and then decipher not only your customers, not only the people you think will use the product, but everybody in your value chain. What unique value proposition am I going to give this guy or this customer or this user or this stakeholder adopt me as those stakeholders are happy? Each and every one of those stakeholders. Either you need to go to them online, you need to go to them offline. On our product today, we have web, we have mobile, we have API, we have USSD, we have iOS, Android, NFC, QR code, agent, paper. We have a paper product, paper version of our product, where if you're a customer and you don't have any of these things I mentioned, you don't have USSD, you don't have a phone, you don't even have a phone number agent and going to the agent to do the transaction. Of course, you have to be tied to your group in that sense for that particular class of product. So understanding how am I going to get to this customer, what value must I offer to this customer, and not necessarily starting how am I getting to scale, because I'm assuming that most of us are still in the early stage of our business. And I mean, I learned this recently as well. But how am I going to make this customer happy? Someone calls it minimum viable happiness, not minimum viable product. How am I going to make this customer happy? Do things that don't scale first. Just make sure that the customer is in love with what you're offering. Understand those customers, your first 10 customers, your first 50 customers, your first 100, your first 1,000 customers, before you then start automating to think about your first 100,000 customers. Masters of Scale by Reid Hoffman. The particular episode he did with, thanks for my friend Emmanuel Tafa, who always makes me listen to these things. The particular episode he did with Brian Chesky of Airbnb, you need to go and listen to that audio. Fantastic audio on go-to-market. And again, like I said, number one, ensure you understand the customer. Number two, be very clear on what you're offering them, make them happy. Number three, once you have built a very strong, solid relationship, understand the patterns, make sure your unit economics make sense, and then you can think about scaling. Thank you very much, guys. I'll have to stop here because I have limited time. I wish I could keep going. And if there are one or two questions, then we can take it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Abolore. Thank you for that insight. The key point, understand your target market, right? Understand your paying customers. You also mentioned about understanding your customers, understanding the regulators. Take, for instance, if you're in the betting industry, you know that the Lagos State government will run after you. You must understand that, yes, we have the NNRC, the CPC, the NCC. If you're in the payment industry or in the fintech industry, you know that, yes, you need to know the regulators, the key stakeholders there. You also spoke about stakeholders management and, of course, understanding your value chain. These are the key points from what you gave us this evening. So we really appreciate your words of wisdom and, of course, the depth of your knowledge. So thank you again, Abolore Salami. We'll be going straight to the pitches. And, of course, I have my colleague, Chika. Chika, are you ready?
Yes,
hello, Chika.
I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
All right, over to you.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much, Salami Abolore, for your insights this evening. We'll take a bit of questions if you don't mind, while we wait for.
My pleasure. You're very welcome.
Okay, so Omotayo is asking, what's the title of the talk with Brancheski?
So it's a podcast that is done by Reid Hoffman of LinkedIn co-founder. So if you just, maybe if you have Apple Podcast or any of those podcast platforms, My friend just sent me the link. I clicked it and it showed up. I think if you have one of those podcast platforms, find Masters of Scale. Masters of
Okay.
Scale by Reid Hoffman. Yes, I think someone has already off the episode he did with Brian Chesky, Airbnb founder.
Okay, thank you very much. I see Osiremiza Oyofo's hand up. Do you want to speak? You can unmute your mic and ask him the question.
Hi. Yes, thank you. So I have a question. I know you mentioned about processes and the value chain. One thing I've noticed is that I think my value chain looks very, very simple, but in actuality, it's actually a lot more difficult, and it takes a lot longer for some things that should actually be very quick to come into play. So since I'm trying to use technology to aid that process, I was wondering what advice you can give for us to actually really flesh out the complexities of our processes.
So I'm trying to stick to topic. So if I'm off topic, you guys should let me know. Even though I know my session is done, I'm trying to stick to go to market and to scale. And of course, an important part of scale is what are you scaling, right? What are you going to market with the product, right? And a lot of times people mistake innovation for software. I know that you're not making that mistake. So what I would suggest is start with your first 100 customers. This is something that I'm learning. I've been doing software now for almost 10 years. I don't code. I only develop design, product, develop them. I have a team of about 25 people in our software team, a product team, and we build it out. But I'm good at thinking of what to build. However, I think what's more important than the software itself or the technology itself is the customer experience. You need to find out, what do your customers want? You know, sit with 100 of those customers one-on-one. It sounds, how am I going to do that? How is that going to scale? And guess what? That's what I just learned. You actually doesn't need to scale. And I've found out retrospectively that that's the only thing that has worked for us. 80% of what works on our products today, 80% of that thing that gives us hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales every year by engaging customers actually came from what the customers told us. It came from the customer saying, we need to be able to easily validate the BVN. If the person doesn't have BVN, we need to be able to use their face to ID them. We need to be able to easily manage all our agents. Our verification should work like this. Oh, why is this in this thing? Why is this thing not able to download all these things? Why are we not able to integrate all the payment options? And why am I only, all of those, why not this? Why not that? Oh no, we don't want, what about people that don't have phones? Can't you find something? All of those engagements with our customers is actually what taught us, for the most part, what to build, what to automate, what to do manually, which one is more important. One of the big things that our customers have been asking us recently is, one of our customer segments, we're about 3 or 4 customer segments, is, hey, Salami, we want an accounting module. That's a very complex system. We have tried to integrate several other modules. It didn't really work. We literally, as I speak with you right now, are testing our internally built end-to-end accounting module within our software. Like literally to run your P&L, do your ledger, everything built by our in-house software team, because our customers just won't stop asking for it. Well, we work very closely with regulators as well. That's one of the things regulators want from some of our customer categories, that, hey, they need to send me this document, and the more digital it is, the better I'll be comfortable with it. So sitting with those customers and writing down, literally, Brian Chesky said that one of their customers literally wrote their product roadmap for them. Say, why can't you do this? Why can't I rate the person that come to stay in my apartment? Why don't I have ensure that you have international passport? Why don't this? So all of those customer experience, I think you should understand them. Once you're clear about your mission, our mission is to create prosperous communities, help people earn money, help people save money, help people own a home. Once you're clear about that mission, engage your customers and let your customers teach you what to do, what to automate, what not to automate, which one is manual. First 100, first 1,000 customers, you begin to see a pattern, and then it becomes clear which feature first, which feature next, which one you should just let your members, your staff members, or your value chain members do, which one you need to do yourself. It becomes clear. It's all in the customer.
Okay, thank you very much, Abolore, Salami. So we're going to go straight into the pitching session now. I hope our founders are ready to pitch tonight. We would have Abolore, Salami, and Monique. Hi, Monique. Monique has graciously agreed. If we're ready, I believe they're also ready to take on this evening. For mentors, please, you're expected to rate electronically. So the link will be shared with you privately. I'd like to confirm, have you gotten the links yet? Hello, can anyone hear me? Right, hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I haven't gotten the link to rate. I'll let you know once I get it.
Okay, so they'll send it to you shortly. It should be in your chat right now, I believe. So just check again. Hi, Monique, can you hear me? Okay, so while we wait for them, I'll just, sorry, go on. CFA, you want to say something?
Yes, Monique, she has a 6:30 call. So she'll be done with the call.
Okay.
She'll join us by 7 p.m. Just for your information.
Oh. Okay, so she's off right now. So we have only Salami on the call right now.
Yes.
As a mentor, do we have any other person?
No, we don't.
Don't worry, I'll try to behave like 3 people. I'll change my voice from time to time.
Yeah,
that's very gracious of you.
Okay, hi. Modupe is also here. I'm a mentor from Makote.
Oh.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have the link though.
They will share with you shortly.
Okay.
Okay. Simeon is also just joining. So yeah, that puts us in the good stead. So Modupe, Simeon, and Salami can get on it. Yeah, because one person would have been difficult.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, yeah, you're forgiving. What's up, bro? Welcome.
I'm very sorry. Guys everywhere. I'm very sorry. Very sorry.
We understand. When you are a top starter, we understand.
No, please, forgive me. Please. I've been awake since 3 a.m. Please forgive me, please.
Oh,
CFA,
sorry.
don't worry. Just tell me what you want me to find him. I will find him. I'll find him bigly on your behalf. Just as my guy. And I don't know. So to be hard, but it's okay. Simeon, how you doing? Good to see you, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. I don't do meeting back to back and all that. So
it's all right, man. Welcome.
Crazy. And I'm trying to go and do my COVID test. I can come and join you in Lagos, but you know.
Okay, so I'm just going to list out. We have 8 founders ready to present this evening. So we have Olorunfemi Medupin, Olatunde Ewola, Oge Ogbaragu, Obianujuwosu, Nafisa Mohammed Buba, Marie Therese Fido, Lekan Oladosu, and Osire Miza Oyofo. I hope you're all ready for tonight, as the mentors are ready. So mentors, please, could you confirm that you have received the links on your private chat?
I don't have it yet.
Wow, okay. You will.
I think I got mine. Step 1, go to fi.co/review, correct? Is that it?
That's it. So what can you see?
Yeah, it's showing me the steps. So I'll go to the link and follow the steps.
So Salami, we will find you. That link is for mentors only. We'll find you. You could have money to
no
pay.
problem. Sorry. Noted.
Okay. Hi, Simeon. Good evening. Thank you for your time again. Have you gotten the link for written?
I have been doing this for over 2 years now. I know now.
Awesome, thank you. Modupe, have you gotten yours yet?
I don't think so.
Wow. Okay, so while they're getting the link across to you, at Founder Institute, I'd just like to go over a few things. Simeon is an Oga already, so I won't bore him with the details, but please pardon the rest of us. So our ratings are on a 1 to 5 grading system, but we don't do 3. So 1 means it's a very poor presentation. 2 means, oh well, you're okay, but it's not quite clear. We don't do 3s because we don't like people sitting on the fence. 4 means I could have a conversation with you, and 5 means I'm ready to invest. So let's do this together.
This is hot seats, right? This is hot seats, the one you tear people apart, right?
Yes. So we need you. We need you to be as honest as possible. So we need very honest feedback, because these are, yes. So we need.
Ask for apologies. So CFA, let me ask for apologies, guys. This is the bad part of FI. This is the part you don't want to be part of. So I go. I'm real.
At the back end.
I am real when this one. So
just send out the rating list while you are doing that.
Forgive me.
Is your internet good?
Bola, please, can you mute yourself?
Please forgive me up front. Founders, I am your best. I'm the best person to talk to after hot seats, but not before hot seats. Eh? Thank
awesome. You. Thank you very much for the heads up. But basically, we expect very honest feedback. I mean, it goes without saying. If you have to do business, especially in Africa, the market is not as friendly as a lot of people expect the educational system to be. So we need very honest feedback from the mentors. So it would help the founders refine their ideas as they get to go to the market. So having said which, our first presenter, are you ready for us? Olorunfemi Medupe.
Sorry, excuse me, Chika. Where exactly are they supposed to send the link to? Are they sending to my email or to this chat?
Check your private chat.
I have.
To this particular chat.
Hello, Modupe. You get it in 2 minutes. You're trying to set you up at the back end. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I thought probably it had been sent. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Olorunfemi, are you ready for us? Again, you have 3 minutes for your presentation, and the mentors would have 4 minutes to give you a feedback. So 4 minutes cumulatively for all the mentors, not 4 minutes each. And for you, Olorunfemi, you have 3 minutes to do justice to your idea. Are you ready for us? Can we go?
Yes, we can go. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see your screen.
Okay. Because I've shared my screen.
Yeah, it's sharing, but it's still loading, except every other person can see, but I can't.
It's coming up.
Okay.
Olorunfemi is meat foods, correct?
Yes, meat food, but now Afiki.
Well, we can't see your screen. So while you resolve that, can we call the next person, or do you want to restart your device? It could be that. So Olatunji Ewola, so while Olorunfemi Medupe resolves his device issues, I'd like to call Olatunji Ewola. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Hello, can you hear me?
Great. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Olorunfemi, please, can you stop sharing your screen and perhaps restart your devices and come back again? Okay. The host, please, can you disable Olorunfemi? I doubt he heard me.
Yeah, I heard you. I'm talking.
Okay, thank you. Olatunji, please, can we have your presentation? You have 3 minutes and the mentors will give you feedback for 4 minutes.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. So you can go on. Your time starts now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Olatunji, the CEO and co-founder of Atata 57. Atata 57 is a B2B e-commerce startup that will help Africa's SMEs in agriculture, arts, and manufacturing to buy and sell their products. What are the problems we are solving? No easy way to buy and sell it in Africa products and services. Limited access to made in Africa products domestically and globally. Little or no access on how to sell domestically, regionally, continentally, and globally. Difficulty in the movement and storage and insurance of goods on transit domestically and globally. Lack of trust when payment is involved. What's the solution we are giving? We are building a website and mobile application, while also we are working on USSD code, using USSD code to solve this. On the website, they will have access to product varieties, access to logistics providers, access to warehouses, access to insurance.
Sorry. Can you put this on presentation mode, please?
Okay. Sorry, I'm coming. Is it on presentation mode now?
Click on you see that button, that computer button under apply to all. Just click on that computer button there. That's presentation mode.
Okay.
At the bottom.
You can also press F5.
F5, okay. Still not working there. F5. Still not working. Hello?
It was already.
Hello, it worked. Yeah. It was already working, but it went to the end. So when you click either of the buttons, there should be like a 3 dots, and then click your down arrow now. Click
All
next.
Right. Can you see it now?
Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we are building a website and mobile application whereby SMEs in agriculture will have access. Okay, buyers will have access to products, varieties, access to logistics providers, access to warehouses, access to insurance for goods in transit, safe escrow payments. They will be able to sell internationally and locally, personalized online experience. So for the USSD code, we've tried to meet our target market. We introduced this to them, and they were able to immediately they adopted they accepted the system. So for the USSD code, it is the fastest channel for local and domestic trading. All mobile phones compatible, more effective and easy channel. No picture view, but buyers will buy with product and service info. Perfect for informal retailers, uniquely dedicated to agri and manufacturing. User starts, customers as customer service and perfect the process. It is a blind dating and multilingual channel. So this is just the sketch of the product. So users will come online to register as a buyer, or they register as a product or service supplier. Down, this is the chart. Then the USSD code. It's either they click 1 to buy or sell, click 2 to message to buy or sell, 3 make payment, 4 for value-added services, and 5 to register. So our target market is worth over $2 trillion US. That's the whole African GDP. And for the SMEs in Africa, they contribute more than 50% to the annual GDP. Then our total obtainable market is $2.48 billion US. Here we categorize, this is our suppliers acquisition. For the first month, we are looking at acquiring 250 suppliers In the 6th month, we are looking at 2,130 suppliers. In the 12th month, we are looking at 4,003 ACs. And in the 18th month, we are looking at 6,642. So for the sales, if we are to acquire 2,500 suppliers, they will be able to, like I said, $750,000 US on the 1st month. Then on the 6th month, 6,400 and the likes. So we categorize the suppliers into 4 categories. The first one. Hello, can you hear me?
The time is up.
Oh my.
Hey. So, mentors, please, your feedback. Thank you very much, Olatunji.
So before Simeon gives it to you hot, I'm going to be very nice to you, Olatunde, and just say 2 things. Number one, once you understand the amount of time you have for a presentation, you need to rehearse it. So for a 3-minute speech, you are probably just talking about, oh, this is what we do, this is what we're doing right now, this is how we intend to grow, and this is how we think that we're going to be able to achieve that growth. That's all. You're done in 3 minutes. You don't need to give us all of your slides because you only have 3 minutes. Right.
Thank
Again,
you.
I wasn't born with this knowledge. I was, I keep learning what you need to do over the years. So it's okay. Just start off learning. The second point is your projections are over optimistic. Have you started the business?
No, we're yet to start up. We are yet to launch.
If you start up and you meet your first quarter target, please come and meet me. I will find money, $5,000, whatever. I will put it in your business because I can almost tell you for free. You are lying to yourself. You will not hit that target, not in Nigeria. So those are the 2 things I'll say for now. I'm sure FI will tell you more on review. Simeon.
Thank you very much. Please rate them Olatunji.
But fantastic business. I love where you're going. Again, you probably want to reduce the number of sectors you're targeting. You probably want to maybe do agriculture only or one of those other things. But let me leave the floor for other mentors.
Hey, please don't forget to rate him as well. Simeon, are you ready to give it to him hot?
I don't know where to start. I don't know where Salami is doing very fast. I don't know where to start.
You start somewhere.
How can you come with this to hot seat? First and foremost, your presentation is whack. Like I couldn't even read your first page. Go back to your first page. What is that on your first? I don't know what's on your first page. Yes, we are here to help you create a better business flow and all that. With your first page, I was trying to figure out what is that under. Is that Reviving Africa's Pride? Why is the background red? Why is your logo red? It makes no sense. You have to be as clear and as precise as possible. Salami already said that. Your projections is your second slide blew me off. Like I was confused. Your second slide, go to your second slide. I didn't understand third slide, sorry. I didn't understand what you were doing. You were doing everything. Then you went to USSD, how USSD is doing very well, how you have done this, how it will help, how you've tested it, how it's working. Then when Salami asked you, so have you started, you said, no, you've not launched the business. But when you were pitching, you said, you've tested, it's working. Then you now say, no, you've not launched the business. So it's a confusing statement. Investors will not take it very, very easy for you. You just lose them. You need to be focused on one thing. You are doing so many things. So many things. You have to focus on one thing. What is it that you do? Are you helping access to insurance? Are you helping access to warehouse? Are you helping logistics providers? Are you helping? Do you understand? You're doing so many things.
Yes,
what exactly are you doing? Stick to one. Let the others follow afterwards. Just stick to one. If you want to give access to a variety of products, stick to that. Later on, logistics will naturally flow into it. Later on, insurance will flow. There are features that you will add to what you're already doing. You cannot start with features. You can't start a company with features. Start with what is your main goal. You understand? When Paystack started, Paystack started with credit card, then debit card debiting. Today they do other things. So just start with one thing and focus on that one thing.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simeon. Please don't forget to rate Olatunji. And
Okay,
I will say, yes, go on, please.
Sorry?
Go on. I heard you. Go on, please.
I know that we have just 4 minutes to assess you. I don't want to stress too much on the presentation skills, as Simeon and Abolore initially said. What I just want to tell you is, I know you are very passionate and it was your intent to let us know everything about what you do, but I think you will need to take a course in public speaking and presentation skills, because there's no point in having this kind of fantastic ideas and not being able to present it. So one thing I'm going to offer you, Olatunji, is I would like you to get in touch with me after this program so that whenever Marc Forte runs a public speaking and presentation skills course, you can attend for free. This will be my way of contributing to your organization. You need to do a lot of work in presentations. You have to have like a magic formula, knowing that you have just 3 minutes for this presentation. Immediately I saw 13 slides, I just smiled that there is no way you could have gotten through to all of us. You must have your magic formula, and that is what is going to keep your audience's attention. That is one thing you want them to go away with. The honest truth is that I can't say exactly what your organization is about, because there were just too many things that you had, that you shoved in our faces, so to say. So please get in touch with me after so that we can work out how, we can work on your presentation skills, because I know that is very important.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank you very much, mentors. Please don't forget to rate Olatunji Ewola. And Olatunji, I would say, take what they said seriously. I think, or rather, I'm sure of what they have said. It's super important. It's something that you might really want to consider in the coming weeks, to take your organization further. But thank you so much for the efforts you've put in so far. We expect that you will do so much more in the coming weeks. So thank you very much. And let's make way for the next person. Okay, are you ready? I'm told that Ife Olatunji is on the call. Hello, Ife. Good evening. Thank you for making our time to join us this evening. We have Ife Olatunji on the call.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. Thank you for making time to join us.
Good evening. All right. Yeah. Good evening. It's good to be here.
Hey, so I'd like to confirm, do you have the rating already? Have they sent the rating to you, the link to rate the founders?
Yes, I have the link to the. I won't be able to rate the last speaker, yes, because I didn't get to see the slides, but then for the others.
Awesome. Okay. Right. Okay. So Oge is the next person. Oge, could you please put on your camera so we can see you?
Hello, good evening.
So your time starts now. Thank you for making time to do this.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oge Chobarago. I'm the founder of Kids Read Arts. Now, as a teacher in the early years, I've come across a lot of parents being worried about their kids' reading struggles. Sometimes they approach the teachers and sometimes they reach out to personal private tutors to assist them. So because of the the large increment of parents asking for help within this particular area, I decided to set up a literacy solution provider for kids aged 3 to 10-year-olds. And on this platform, I'll be teaching kids how to read in easy forms using animated videos, interactive quizzes, PDF downloads of all kinds of resources, worksheets, flashcards, and even e-storybooks will be available. Now, this is a model, a mock-up of what my platform will look like. The first module talks about sounds are fun. Second module talks about phonics 101. That's for the 3 to 4-year-olds. Third module talks about blends made easy, and the last module talks about the tricky words. Now, my product features will include cartoon characters, structured assessment, animated lessons, interactive worksheets and storybooks, brain breaks, immediate feedbacks, and gamified quizzes, including the PDF downloads. Now, my business model will be on a monthly subscription fee of $13 per month for the basic, and the premium is $20, which can be paid monthly, quarterly, or yearly. My go-to-the-market strategy will be digital marketing, influencer marketers, using partnerships and having a sales team. And this is my addressable market, 300 million Anglophones in West Africa, why the available market is 31 million of young parents with access to the internet. So I calculated my total revenue opportunity by $13, which is my basic plan, by 1% of this 31 million. So that I got about $4 million on that. Now, this is my competitive analysis now between myself and my competitors now. Now, the first feature I'm going to provide PDF download, which I will be providing. Prep class, LeapCrop don't have it. U-Lessons has it, don't have it. But Jumpstart does have this particular product and service feature, sorry. Then affordable and flexible pricing, which I'll be providing. Prep class, LeapCrop has that, but Jumpstart and U-Lessons don't have that. Now, my product will be provided for kids, to be developed for kids aged 3 to 10-year-old, which I'm providing. Leapfrog and Jumpstart has that, but prep class and U-Lessons are being provided for kids in the older primaries, like in the primaries and in the secondaries. And on my program, I'm going to be providing them with brain breaks for the kids, because when kids sit for too long, they get distracted, or because of how young they are. So I'm going to be providing the brain breaks and interactive storybooks, which I'll be providing, and my competitors don't have. Now, I'm uniquely qualified to do this because I'm a practicing teacher who knows what's operational in the early years setting. I have developed myself locally and internationally to compete favorably with my Western contemporaries, and have used the steps which I'll be sharing to achieve tremendous success within a short time with the kids I have worked with. And I have a lot of testimonies from my parents. And these are my team members. I'm the founder. I'm an early years literacy specialist, by the way. And these are my IT advisor and my other advisor who's advising me on the project. So I'm looking to raise $200,000 to build an interactive platform that will contain all the features mentioned above and to build a working team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oge. So mentors, please, can you give your comments and feedback to Oge? Any of you can go first.
I'll go last this time.
Okay.
I'll go second to the last.
Okay, so Ife, please, can you? I'd have to
ladies
pick
go first.
at this point.
I didn't know that we could choose slots. I didn't know.
Okay, since you're talking, so please go first. At this point.
Okay. Thank you very much, Oge. I like your presentation. I like the swiftness of it, and it was very simple and easy to follow. The only challenge I had was the amount you are requesting, $200,000. That seems a bit far-fetched, and maybe it was because you didn't quite explain what you'll be needing it for. But it seems, I'm sorry, but it seems a bit ridiculous given what it is that you want to do.
So can I say something about that?
Okay.
Okay, now for the animators now that are going to be providing these features, building this platform, I reached out to most of them, and the price is when they tell you how much they charge for each video, is like a 1-minute video. It's like when I heard the price, I was marveled. I was like, are you kind of serious? 1.5 million for a video, animated video of 1 minute for just one. Not like the
Okay,
set.
don't worry. She's right. Your answer is not going to justify your money. I can tell you for free because I know at least 5 e-learning companies. But you're also right. I know how ridiculously expensive these things can be. So what I will do is during my session, I'll give you some of the feedback on how I think you should approach it differently. But please, let Ife finish.
Okay, if I finish.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that was the major challenge I had. I'm glad that Abolore says he will give you some solutions to it. I think I'll be interested in also hearing because I think it would be good if you scale this very well and you tell us level, how you actually intend to grow, because I know it's not like you're going to start off at a goal, but let me leave the solution part to Abolore to share with you. Other than that, I think, you have better presentation skills. Your slides are quite easy on the eyes. I think that's what I would have to say for now.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
So,
thank you, Modupe. That was Modupe speaking and not Ife.
Yeah.
Oh, Ife has not spoken. Ife, I'm waiting for you.
Okay, so we are waiting. Ife, please, can you give your insights, comments, feedback to Oge? Hello, Ife, are you there?
Okay, you know,
I was going to ask if Modupe's
so,
name changed. Yeah, Richard.
so,
Yes,
so,
Simeon,
so
please go ahead.
let me just quickly give my feedback. First and foremost, I didn't like the pitch. The reason is simple. A lot of people, and I think that's a big problem. Salami and a lot of us have spoken about in our quiet time. We want to raise money without thinking about the people we're raising money from. There is nobody that would invest in you when you come up and say, I am thinking about a plan and this is what my plan is and I want to raise 200,000. Trust me, you will not get anything done. Guy, I have a working prototype. I have revenue. I cannot raise 200,000. I have revenue. I have a working company. I can still not raise 200,000. You have a dream. You've not tested with 3 kids. You've not told me that your
I have
MVP
historicals of hundreds to millions of dollars of revenue. Sir. To raise 200,000, then you will be sweat.
Exactly. So
Okay,
at the end of the day, I'm actually having meetings with investors, and you cannot tell them shit. You can't tell them all these things. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know how you guys come up with these ideas of I want to raise 200,000. I don't have a product. No, go to the market, get 3 kids, go and teach them physically, create video yourself, use your phone, create a video, sell it. Tell me that it was sold. Tell me this was done. Then you can now come back to me and tell me, I have done 3 customers. They paid me $5. This is what happened. It wasn't a good video, but we can still sell. We can create better videos. I will give you the money. But don't tell me you don't have anything and you're coming to it puts everybody off. It makes no sense. Come with something to the table. Don't be, when you come to a hot seat, you are coming to tell me I have done 10 customers. They paid me and they did this. I am looking to get to 100 customers. Then I will listen to you. But don't come to a hot seat and tell me I am building a business. I'm going to go against you lesson. I'm going to get against, and you don't have anything to show. Guy, this guy raised 12 million without even starting a business. And you're saying,
Sorry, can I just interrupt here? I'm not on the hot seat right now, but at the end of the day, from my understanding, this is a pre-seed accelerator. So we come with ideas and we present them. It's about the viability of the business, not necessarily that they don't have anything.
Hello. If that's the case, every business in the world is viable. Every business in the world is viable.
Simeon, sorry. Musa, please, that is not necessary. You're being given feedback. Maybe you don't know, but
no, sorry, but I have to interrupt you. Because it is necessary. There's a way to give feedback, and then there's a way to tear somebody down. There is a difference, and this is not the case. This is not how it's going. There is the difference. Let the feedback be constructive, and you should also be able to moderate it.
Sorry, sorry, hold on, CFA. This is Salami. The person speaking, sorry, is it Ogechi? Are you a moderator, a mentor?
No, I'm not a moderator, but I paid for this course. And I feel that there are best practices that need to be held up, and you guys are not doing that.
Musa, if you're not satisfied with the way we do it,
my name is Remiza.
Drop out from the program.
No, there's a difference between, there are world best practices. Don't tell me I should drop out. There are world best practices. You should be able to receive feedback from your customer.
Agreed. I agree with OC, CFA. Hold on, CFA, hold on now. You invited us to moderate, so let us moderate. OC, you don't understand the job where you collect. You don't understand what you are trying to do. You think Simeon is angry? Hold on now, let me finish. You want feedback, so you need to listen to it. I'll let you finish. You think Simeon is angry? Simeon is not angry. You see investors that will walk you out of the door before you even enter because your hair is green. They are not even listening to your pitch.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think anybody is angry. I never said that.
If you want to listen, do you let me finish? So if it's giving feedback or it's telling you what, it doesn't matter how brutal
Okay, so hello, can everyone hear me? Hello, am I the only one on the call? Okay, I see you're attempting to talk, but your mic is off.
Oh,
Your
sorry, I
mic
don't
is
know what
off.
muted me. This is Salami. I don't know what muted me. I think someone muted everybody, right? So it was good. But OC, just relax, trust me. Nobody is trying to trample on anybody's ego or make anybody feel bad. We've all gone through this and you will go through worse, right? So relax, right?
Can I say something? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay,
Okay,
so
now
at this point, okay,
please,
you will
I
say
need to say something.
You will.
Sorry, before you go ahead, mentors, Simeon, Salami, we apologize. Please let your feedback be as raw as you want it to be. Our founders, I mean, it's true. I do office hours with Adeo, and Adeo looks me in the face. Many of you know that I'm trying to set up a VC company. Adeo looks me in the face and tell me, CFA, this is crap. Like in my face, nobody's gonna give you money this. And then we want people to tell you the truth, you're tearing down. I mean, this is a startup game. So guys, I apologize. This should not stop you from saying it as it is. Please, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, founders. Okay, please, you know your time is almost up, but I'd like you to say what you want.
I need to reply. Please, even though it's just a minute, please, of even 30 seconds now.
30 seconds, 30 seconds works.
Okay, in response to what he said now, like I told you, I'm an early years literacy specialist now. I teach kids how to read now. I take most of these kids one-on-one, like I'm a private tutor, I take them at home, and I also take them on online classes. And I found out that I also prepared videos for them and for them to go learn at home. But I found out that most times the kids are quite distracted when it's just you and them. But they enjoy it much more when it's animated. I did a lot of that. I tutor, I do one-on-one tutoring. I did prepare videos, which I sold out to parents. The parents do like them. But to scale out now, to get to reach out to more people, I need to package this whole program in a form that it will reach to more people. And outside that, what I planned on doing was that this set.
Okay, thank you.
Outside the videos, it will include PDF downloads and
I
also
agree.
interactive games. So it's like a complete package.
Okay.
And the last time I asked for $50,000, the mentors also told me that the $50,000 was too small.
Okay, so thank you very much for your feedback. We need to go to the next person, but honestly, you know, especially because I have a background in edtech, I'm currently doing edtech and education financing now. So I understand where he's coming from. And these are the conversations I have with tons of edtech companies almost every day because it generally sits on my desk. So I'd like to have this conversation with you. So I probably will break down what he's trying to say to you, but he has a point. You know, so there are cheaper options, there are other ways you can do it, but he has a very, very valid point because the market is not friendly, especially when you go to do you go to do your you go to do your market. The market is not friendly at all, you know, especially with edtech. So you cannot do, and when I was in edtech, I used to tell people you cannot do a research in VI and expect someone in Ogbomoso to purchase it. You know, so I'm happy to sit and walk you through that whenever my office hours open up so that we could talk, especially because we're in the same sector. So we'll talk about that, but we need to go on to the next person. Thank you very much for your time. And please just accept the feedback in good faith. I believe they mean well, and they most probably will invest in your business once it gets on the right footing. Okay, so
sorry, just to chip in. Okay, by the way, sorry that the feedback was a bit harsh, right? It wasn't a personal attack. I don't think the problem is with the money you're asking for, the amount you're asking for, which, you know, Simeon was trying to emphasize very clearly. But so what are you going to use it for? So it's not as to the amount, but the use of funds.
Okay, so we need to go on to the next presenter now. Okay, thank you very much.
Right, you let's see the first rate for this is prototype. This one already has a roadmap and traction. So you want to be guided by those things in deciding your use of funds. I hope you guys can still hear me.
Yes, we heard that part. Thank you very much. We have to move on at this point. So the next person, Obianuju, are you ready for us? Mentors, please don't forget to rate Oge. The rating is 1 to 5. We don't do 3s. 1 means it's not something I'm willing to consider. 5 means I'm going to invest. I'm ready to have that conversation with you. Okay, so the piano duos. Okay, so please, host, can you unmute Cassandra also? I believe she's the person. So she's asking to be unmuted. Can you help, please?
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, your presentation and your videos on, please. Your video, rather.
Okay.
Please don't forget to put it on presentation mode so that you don't lose some time. Awesome. Okay, so your time starts now. Your video is not on as well. We can't see.
Can you see me now?
Yes, we can. We can. Okay, yes, go ahead, please. Your time starts.
Good evening. My name is Obianuju. I'm a certified customer service professional of over 15 years and co-founder Reachable.ng, an outsourced customer support solutions for businesses. What we're looking at is we're offering businesses to get to increase their revenue, focus on their core business activities, maximize efficiency, and reduce operational costs of running customer support in-house. So we handle the entire or part of the customer service engagement to increase customer satisfaction and enhance the customer experience. So we partner with businesses to accelerate their impact. Now, what the problem is, post-COVID, we're looking at businesses that lack professional experience to manage their overwhelming customers base. And we also have businesses running on lean management, and they're looking at the additional cost of managing customers because they no longer have face-to-face interactions with these customers. Now, because they're running lean, a lot of their staff are overwhelmed, so there's delayed problem resolution and low customer empathy. Now, the solution we are offering across omni-channel, so we're looking at chats, emails, social media, and telephone calls, of course. So we're offering multilingual remote professionals that are skilled in customer empathy and effective problem resolution. They're professionals in social media communication and in handling inbound and outbound calls, and of course, email responses and marketing. How it works, we're looking at responding to customers on different channels, that we're using remote professionals. So because of COVID, a lot of professionals are out of work. So we use remote professionals. We onboard them on our platform. So we're creating a CRM platform that will onboard these remote professionals, and then we engage businesses that would use these remote professionals that are multilingual, and they use our platform. So what we do, we improve their businesses. The business model we're looking at first subscription and then transactional model. That's per customized service. So if a business comes and says, we want you to handle debt recovery and call 10,000 customers, that's a transaction we can handle. Subscription, we can handle the entire business communication monthly on a subscription basis. Our addressable market, we looked at businesses in wholesale, retail, agriculture, transport, and storage. And we're looking at a low percentage of that number in Lagos. And over time, we're looking at, in 3 years, our projections should be in the 600s. Go-to-market strategy, we're currently working on an MVP that can integrate customers within 3 days. And we want to deploy a white label solution prototype. So we're working with a CRM, already existing CRM, so that we can integrate and start off and kickstart the business. And customer interest, we already have supermarket chain, transport company. Our competitors are people that are mostly in the contact center business, and what we stand out for we use remote professionals across the country. Why now? Post-COVID has made some businesses to really drop in terms of their revenue, and we have people that can work from home. Our ask is 50,000, and we're going to use it to secure and get our MVP running. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was unable to unmute myself. Thank you, Cassandra. Please, mentors, could you give your feedback, your insights, and your comments to her pitch? Hello, mentors. Hey, Salami, do you want to go first? Hello.
Sorry guys, please go ahead.
Okay. Ife, can you go first? Ife, are you still on the call? Hello, is Ife Olatunji still on the call,
I think
please?
I'm unmuted now.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm unmuted now.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay,
this is Modupe speaking. Okay, yes, go ahead, please.
This is Modupe. Thank you, Cassandra. I like your idea. I think I can tell you for a fact that this is an idea that is going to meet a need. I mean, you have identified a huge need, and I'm very certain that your idea will fly. The only challenge I think I'm seeing that is recurring is you almost have no time to tell us what you need the money for. You spend time explaining all the other details about the business, and you have to now rush through. I mean, you have barely, you didn't even have up to 10 seconds. And this is like the crucial part of, this is what is going to help the mentors know how to even help you. If this is, I mean, if this is scalable, if this is workable. So if you've talked to us about how you intend to, get into the market and all of that, but we don't know, you need $50,000. What do you need it for? What is it meant for? Then how do I know if I should invest in you or not? I think for the other speakers, you have to do something about your ask so that you can have enough time to tell us what it's all about. Because if you have a fantastic idea and I really don't know how to pitch in, there is no way I can help. That's the comment I have for now. And I don't think you will be given extra time to explain how this goes so that I even know how to fit in.
I shared it on the screen if you care to look.
Yeah, but it's not, and maybe because I'm also a soft skills practitioner, I look at the presentation skills. You should have timed yourself in such a way that if you have 3 minutes, you have at least a minute to explain this part, because this is almost like the most important aspect of your presentation. So this shouldn't get 10 seconds. This should get like a minute.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Please don't forget to rate her as well. Ife, are you back on the call?
Yeah, this is Monique. I'm back on. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Monique.
Sorry about
hi,
that.
Monique.
Yeah, that call took a little longer than expected, but I'm back in, team.
Awesome.
Okay.
So were you able to look at her presentation? Did you hear everything?
No, I just joined. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So I guess others will give their feedback, and you would have the chance. But just to confirm, do you have your rating link already?
I have the rating link. Who am I listening? But let's see, who am I listening to?
Oh no. So we are just giving feedback to.
Okay, great. I have my rating link right now.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay.
So the next person, we're just giving feedback to Cassandra right now. So after her, the next person would come up, and you'll be able to rate the person.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
So other mentors, please, could you give feedback to Cassandra's presentation? Ife, are you back? Simeon, if you want to give feedback to this. Okay. Hello.
Maybe Abolore is muted and he's not able to unmute himself. It happened to me as well.
Possibly. Okay.
Because I can see that the mute button is still.
I'm actually not trying to unmute this time, so but thanks for the thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, please proceed. Yes.
Okay. So any other we need more feedback. Ife, do you want to speak? You want to speak to Cassandra's presentation? Were you able to hear everything? Because I noticed you were out for a while.
Yes, I was out for a while. I lost network for some minutes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So I see that, but Salami, were you able to listen in on everything she said?
Simeon and Salami, what is happening, guys? You guys have lost steam. These founders need your feedback, guys. They need your feedback. You guys have built. Please share. You guys are turning cold, man.
Okay. Okay, so in the absence of any other feedback, mentors, please don't forget to rate Cassandra as well.
Thank you.
It's very similar to you have your own caps too.
Sorry, guys. The unmute button keeps hanging actually. Even though I don't have any comment right now, but please, if there's a permanent fix so that we can unmute when we need to.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. Well done, Cassandra.
Okay, thank you very much. Please don't forget to rate mentors. Please don't forget to rate Cassandra Wosu. I think her name is Obianuju Wosu. Yeah, because I can see something else on your screen. I think her name is actually Obianuju Wosu on the portal. So please rate her. Obianuju, thank you very much. Modupe, thank you for that feedback. Yes, please stop sharing your screen. And we go to the next person. So do we have Marie-Therese Fido? Are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, please. Please, can you turn on your video?
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Your time starts now, please.
Hola is giving customers a voice. About Hola is a comparator platform to provide a one-stop shop for making informed financial decisions around investments, products, reviews and ratings, and services. How many of you struggle to make sense of financial investment decisions? I've had many challenges of making investment financial decisions. Friends have had challenges making these decisions. They've had to navigate several platforms to access the necessary information. This is why Hola is developing a one-stop shop, a financial marketplace. What is the problem? There's no central location to access information. There's a need to navigate several platforms or visit several institutions to access information, and there's limited available comparative analysis information. What's a solution? The solution would be to evaluate, compare and analyze financial information, review financial services and products, rate and provide access to unbiased and transparent reviews. The value proposition will be helping customers make quick, easy, and informed financial decisions. Our products and services will cut across the full spectrum of the financial services sectors, from commercial banks all the way down to fintech companies. Our services will be around comparative analysis of financial products, ratings and reviews, lending aggregations, customer analytics, and several others. Our market size is based on the recent NIBS reports. We have 122 million Nigerians own bank accounts. We're going to be targeting 10 to 20% of this market, and we're looking at the age group of 30 to 70-year-olds. We've built some traction today. Our business model is going to be based on subscription and pay per service. Our go-to-market strategy will be through direct and email marketing, use of social media, offline marketing, a landing page, and creating videos and viral videos and content. Our competitors, today we do not have any real competitor in Nigeria doing exactly what we do. We have VConnect, Connect Nigeria, who provide ratings and reviews, but they don't provide any of the financial services we intend to provide. Our unique qualification, I've worked for 2 global professional services firms for over 20 years and have a good understanding of the financial services sector. I have, in my role, heading sales and marketing and driving strategy, I understand the kind of information to gather, as well as my role in leading information services in my early years. My partner has also done a lot of financial services work as an auditor, banker, and in IT. Our ask from the Founder Institute is $50,000. We need it to scale, we need it to employ people, and we also need it to build our platform. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, Marie-Therese. So that was quite timely. Mentors, please, your feedback. Don't forget our rating is 1 to 5. We don't sit on the fence. Fence for us means 3. So we don't rate 3s. We rate 1, 2, 4, and 5. So your feedback, insights, and comments are very well welcome at this point for Marie-Therese. Monique, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. This is Monique. Marie-Therese, I have several feedback. First, that was a really pretty fast presentation. So of your pitch, one is you know, you went over the competitors, but what about how you see the regulators? I have several questions. How do you see the regulators in what you're doing? How are you building your ecosystem? I took some notes as to you have a very small team, so you're looking for funding to hire, if I understand. Where would you be doing that hiring? What would be their background? So my questions are quite a few.
Okay, can I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so with the regulators, we're already in collaboration with the Federal Competitor Protection Council. We worked with them last year. We built, we had a seminar with them. So we're in collaboration, we are talking, and we have a strong relationship. We're also talking to the CBN Consumer Protection Council. The person in charge of that directorate is somebody I've known for several years. So we are also in contact, we're talking, and they understand what we're doing, and we're already in some form of agreement. So when we launched, we're going to work together because they understand and they believe in what we're doing. And in terms of staffing, we've already have people on ground. We have an IT person. We have 2 people with financial information, financial and data gathering research skills, but we look to hire more people as we build and launch.
Also, a question is, you have a plan to have 10,000 paying customers in December. So it's now October. Where are you at with that?
Okay, so where we are at now is that we have about 7,000 people already on our platform. And once we finish building the platform, we hope to finish building the platform in November, and then we'll start billing them.
And one other question is, can you go back to your revenue model? What does that look like?
Okay.
Thank you.
So our revenue model is that we're going to have subscriptions and pay per service, because we are focused, we're going to get money from the financial institutions, and we're also going to get money from the users, the daily users who come on the site. From the financial institutions perspective, we are looking at an entry model of $77 per month and $50. What we did here in running our model was that we looked at, FI gave us a standard and said, make X amount in 18 months. So we're saying that at $77, we can make it in 18 months. But we think that if we look at $50, which is a lower entry point, we will make it in 24 months. So we just did those analysis. And from a pay per service point of view, based on the customer focus groups and surveys that we did, a lot of people are willing to pay $5 to access an information, and they're also willing to pay $20 to have access to the site for a year. And we're saying that we will use the $20 as an incentive to get pay per service clients to come on board.
So thank you so much for clarifying that. One last question I have is, if you receive the 50,000, you hire the team, you further your business beyond 7,000 subscribers or 7,000 customers. How do you want to sustain it? It's all about sustainability, the next 6 months and the next year.
We're hoping that our revenue will be able to help us sustain. I am thinking about increasing the ask, but I'm also evaluating that. It looks like we may have to increase the ask, but that's where we are now.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Is
Yes.
if you're being a bit conservative there.
Yes, I was being conservative.
Okay, that's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Monique. Please don't forget to rate her as well. Any other mentor, sorry. Well, go on, please.
Yeah, so this is Simeon. Sorry, I just had to breathe before I continue. I like this. I like the model. I like the fact that you started something. Makes a lot of sense to me. But the question is, the money you're asking for, if you're 15, if you're can you go to your ask? Can you go to your ask screen? Why do you think 50K? So you already have a product, you've tested it.
We've tested it, but we are modifying what we had before. And we realized that we need to scale quickly. That once we scale, everything will likely fall into place quicker. So
what does scale mean to you? What does scale mean to you? What does scale look like to you? What does scale look like to you?
Scale, to me, based on our financial model, must mean that we must have at least 15,000 people on our site paying. So to have that, we'll need to have maybe 3 times or 4 times that on our platform.
But the 7,000 people you have, can you convert them? Have you tried to convert them to paying customers?
That is our intention.
Okay. I mean, I think it's too small for that kind of projections you're making. I think it's super small.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
So, and this is what I've learned so far. I've learned that if you have to get to a certain level, you probably have to use what we call CAC to LTV ratio to justify that level. So if you want to make that kind of money in less than 18 months, and you're using 50K to reach that kind of level, it's looking like it's unrealistic. You're asking for too small to get to that level. So if your 50K is going to take you to maybe an ARR of 300K, 400K, it will make sense. If it's going to take you to, so we're doing 50K right now to get to an ARR of $400,000 by the end of the year, or by the next 12 months, it will make a better sense than to say FI is putting you in a box and saying you must make this. I don't think that should be the way to check it out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you have something that's working. So you have something that most others don't have, which is something is working. Now we just want to monetize what is working. So at that rate, you need to justify what this 50K is and at what are the terms of the 50K?
What do you mean? What are the terms?
If I give you 50K right now, what do I get?
You get equity.
Yeah, what is that equity? You don't thought about it.
You mean you want to get a return on your investment immediately? Is that your question?
No.
Maybe I'm not understanding your question.
If you say you want 50K, I'm saying, okay, Marie, I can give you 50K now. What do I get for giving you the 50K?
In terms of what? You get a part of the business, and when we make money, we give you money back.
What is that? I don't know if FI has to take you through a training course on raising funds. You need to be ready with answers when you're talking to investors. If your 50K is at a safe, if it's you need to tell them what it is. Is it a price round? Is it a save? Is it an equity round? Is it a note? Is it a convertible? You need to know what it is. You can't just say, I'll give you equity. Are you giving me 100% of the company? It's equity.
No, I'm going to give you based on the capital, the valuation.
What is that valuation?
Okay, so at this point, I'd like to say that, so what he's asking you is part of the feedback. You may not necessarily have all the answers right now because of the stage you are at right now. So, but it's very important to think about the kind of question he's asking you, because these are the sort of questions that investors will be asking for. So
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
For him to even ask this question, it means that he's already almost thinking, he might be considering, but he's not just very clear. So I believe when you start speaking to other people, these are the sort of things that we want to ask. So it's important to go back and think about it.
This is investable. Yes. To be clear, very investable.
Absolutely.
Super investable.
I agree. It
is actually, I mean, if you know my company, this is like a value add to my company. So I can actually even pitch this to my company. So it's investable. But the question is, the founder has to be very ready for the kind of questions that you need to get. If you're not ready, you've lost the investment.
Okay, thank you very much appreciated. And I'll go and learn that answer so that I have it at the tip of my fingers next time.
Please. Okay. Ife would like to say something. Thank you very much, Simeon. Please don't forget to rate her. Ife, I'm trying to unmute you as well. I see that you've asked to be unmuted.
All right, thank you. Can everyone hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Yes, please. Good evening.
Okay, I just want to give like a comment. I mean, just observing what's going on. What I want to encourage everybody, I'm talking about the what's it called, the delegates now of the court, is that most of the mentors will not be talking from where you are. We will be talking from our own experiences. We'll be talking from an area view of what the game should be. So the way to take feedbacks, I'm a mentor here, for example. I'm also a delegate in another accelerator that is bigger than mine. You understand? So you need to understand that the practice we are using, whatever we're doing now, is actually best practice. So the way to go about it is that when you get a feedback, just note it down. Okay. There's a lingua you need to pick. There's a lingua you need to pick up. You understand? There's a language you need to pick up, and there's a what's it called? There's a frame of mind. There's a frame of expression. You need to also glean over time to be able to express and respond to investor requirements. So what I would just advise everybody is that don't take anything personally. It has to be heated because it gets worse outside the accelerator. You understand? It gets worse. It gets worse after the accelerator. So some of your ask is too big. Some of your ask is actually too little based on your communication, based on your articulation. You understand? Everything has to be based on scientific measurable indices and metrics. So, Mary, I mean, I loved your slides, but I mean, there were words you were using that are like, no. I mean, they're no-go area for investors. Words like, I hope, I mean, exactly. I'm thinking, you think like that can't really go well with them. But I'm saying, the way everybody should just breathe, you understand? These are just like practice sessions. They're like dry runs. You understand? And I wish I had a mentor when I started. I wasted 5 years going
God
around in
bless
circles.
God bless you. God
You
bless
understand? I wasted it almost crippled me. I got money from the wrong people. I got money using the wrong terms of engagements. And it took a while for me to be able to come out of it. I thought I was building an app, but I was bootstrapping an entire value chain. You understand? So when people give you a feedback, you need to calm down, pick the words and research. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry,
we'll
you
talk about
need to say that again. Oh. You said you thought you were
Thank you,
building an
Simeon.
app, but you were actually bootstrapping an entire value chain.
Exactly.
Hey, you guys don't understand that. You won't understand it except you are inside it.
Yeah, I agree.
So when I said we
guys.
signed Lagos State, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank
Because
you.
we found out we were bootstrapping an entire industry, not building an app. And to
Yeah.
bootstrap an entire industry, you need to have the industry players beside behind you. How do you think InterSwitch was built? You think InterSwitch was an app? Bros. And don't worry, if you want fleshy, sexy conversation, no problem. When you're having a argument with your investors on the board in your board meeting, you will understand.
Okay. Yes,
Chika.
please.
So,
yes, please.
like I said, I mean, I love what Ife said. Salami knows me very well. I try to give the best advices because that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from beating battered and abused state. When I started, I was beaten, battered, and abused. I lost almost $1.5 million like that because I did not understand what I was getting into. So when people are trying to help at that time, I was being strong-headed. I didn't understand it was like everybody wants to steal from me. And that's where I got to. You have to learn everything, even the right words. I just spoke to an investor like 5 minutes. When I went off, I got on an investor call and we are talking, this is a $5 billion fund. And the kind of questions they ask, 30 seconds, you are done. He has gone for another meeting. He has sent me his remarks. Let's talk later, speak up another time. You need to, like ARR, MRR, these are things that investors want to hear. They want to understand it. What is your LTV? What is your CAC? You need to know all those words. If you don't know them, you're messing up yourself. You need to understand legal terms. You need to understand what your investors is talking about. These are things that are very, very, and when I said initially, one of your cohort members might have taken it wrongly, and I don't really care. I'm going to still give my advice. The issue is you need to wake up to the realities of the Nigerian ecosystem. Nigeria is not Silicon Valley. I'm in Silicon Valley right now. It is a different ball game. It's a totally different ball game. I am in a Hong Kong-based accelerator. When I talk, they tell me, but you're just saying bullshit. I mean, at my level, I'm pitching to an investor, and he looks at me and says, you're saying bullshit. Like, go straight to the point. What are you saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, take that feedback because we are all learning as we are going. We're all learning as we're going. So take the feedback. If you don't have a product, start with your first customer. Come and borrow money. I will give you. But go and get one customer. Don't come to a pitch and say, I am trying to build, I don't know. Because every idea is winnable. It's your execution that determines whether it's winnable or not. I built Simple Pay, I failed. Paystack came after I built Simple Pay. Paystack succeeded. It's just execution. He got money from Silicon Valley. He had all the backings. He had talked to banks. He knew exactly where I had failed.
Sorry, Simeon, what Simeon is saying essentially is that your first thing is not even registering for FI. It's good to register for FI. And we're sure FI is bringing us here because they think we can contribute something. The first thing you do is actually your product. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter I love what Simeon said. It doesn't matter if you have to go and look for 3 kids and teach them. That's the beginning of your e-learning. And start teaching them on Zoom. It's free. You don't need any software to do that. Download videos on the internet and use it to teach them. You have already started. You don't go to a pitch empty-handed. With just that simple step, you go and say, this is where we are now. This is where we want to be. So we know what we want to use the money for. Somebody says, don't come and meet me and say, give me 5 million naira. I want to start a chicken farm. First, take 50,000 naira. Go and buy egg. Sell the eggs. Go back and then become a supplier of eggs to people that are selling eggs. Go back and start buying from factories before you now go and own the chicken poultry, the poultry farm, the chicken farm, whatever it's called itself. It's a gradual process. And I have seen this play out. And again, it doesn't mean that your own gradual process is not that you're starting from developing a technology solution that the entire national grid of Nigeria will use. I've deployed a solution for the national grid. I can tell you any of the people here, the quality of pitch I've heard, there's nothing stopping any of you from developing a solution and proposing it to the national grid. It's no different from 3 kids in the house, or a small solution that can make a significant difference at the national grid, maybe in terms of system planning. But you have to get into the door with, this is what I've done, this is where I am, this is what I've tried. Even if the pilot that failed. I think that's what Simeon is trying to say. Sorry, Simeon, please go ahead. Just so that it doesn't look like
I mean, you've said it all. It's just that people get it wrong and feel that we are angry, we are getting at them. No, we want you to succeed. I swear, if I could give you all money, I will give you all money today. In short, we are even investing in one of your team members. We are investing in one of them. If I can give you money, I will give you. But you need to get to that point where you understand we are not against you. I want you to succeed. If you have to come to me and tell me, oh, Simeon, there's one of your co-founders, one of your mates that is doing logistics. He sent me a message like 2 days ago. I congratulated him. Oh, you got me your first 20 customers. Beautiful. What do you need from me? I can send you to your next 20 customers. Get them. Then we can now start planning. How do you go to investors? How do you make this thing bigger? How do you get money from friends and family? That's when you now start planning. But you don't wake up and say, I want $20,000. I want $200,000. Yeah, you don't even get anything on the table. Nobody will listen to you. I'm telling you as a brother, nobody will listen to you. Monique, sorry, I'm speaking pidgin English, but I need to.
No. It's
okay, so we need to go on at this point. Thank you very much, Simeon. And Salami, I really appreciate your honesty, and also Monique, your insights were invaluable. Your questions were able to, help her think through some things already.
But I do agree. I'm being nice here, right, in the sense, but it's to the earlier points. Somebody called it, I would call it a bullshit filter. Well, within your pitch, you could be halted, right? So you have to really come in with that journey, and I think it's I do see possibilities in this particular proposal, but again, you may not have all the answers, but you can at least say, look, this is where I'm at. But you really, when you're coming in for the pitch and you're asking for something, you have to come really prepared for it, right? So that's what we're all saying here.
Awesome.
Sorry, can I just quickly add?
Yes, this is Boye.
Sorry, Chika.
I just wanted to reiterate what Monique said. Okay. So Monique said something that really piqued my interest. And she said, if you're coming for a pitch, you need to come along with your bullshit filters, because that's actually what it is. So thank you very much, Monique, for that.
I mean, I spoke to a CEO. She said, excuse me, I think I have my bullshit filter on now.
Yeah. So thank you very much for pointing that out, because I mean that's what it is. Boye is going to moderate this session at this point with me. Boye, please, could you put on your mic, your video as well? So Boye is the numbers person on the FI team. So please reach out to him. He has a team working with him so that our ask will be more realistic. So hi, Boye. Yeah, over to you. But before you even begin, we have one more person. That's Olorunfemi. He says he's ready. So do you want us to have him first, and then you take it from there?
No, I just want to add something before we go on, and awesome. I just want to just say from my experience, and I give you a particular experience that I had in mind. I had a client. I was working with a client, so I went to make a presentation with the private equity fund based in Nigeria. They're actually the first Nigerian-based private equity fund. So I was pitching to the two of the partners, right, with the financial model for the firm. Immediately, I think maybe 20 minutes, he punctured my financial model. Then he started using the F word. Immediately, he called my managing director that, what kind of an ask did you send to my board meeting? So I'm just saying, when it comes to raising money, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. People will not necessarily be nice to you.
I'm raising 2 million. I've spoken to 600 investors. 600.
Pardon?
I'm raising 2 million. I've spoken to 600 investors.
Wow.
So yeah, it's their money. So they will, and they listen to too many people, and they don't really have the time to be sweet talk. They want to get what you want to say just within the shortest time they actually have available. So I'm just saying, whatever you guys hear, don't take it personal. Pretty much is what it is in the space we are facing. And you need to understand you are Black, you are a Nigerian, you're against a lot of people that are smarter, that actually have more access. So you need to be prepared 500% of the time. That's just what I just wanted to add. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have two more presenters. We have Olorunfemi Modupe and we have Osiremiza Oyofo.
Chika,
So,
am I still pitching today?
Is it Simeon?
Yes.
Yes, you're still speaking. Your session, right?
Yes.
Yes, please. Okay, please, mentors, don't forget to. I think I find it very engaging, but please don't forget to rate the founders. The last founder was Marie Therese. Please don't forget to rate her as well. We have two more presenters, Olorunfemi Modupe and Osiremiza. And Boye will take you from here. So you have 3 minutes to present. Olorunfemi, are you ready for us? I am asking you to unmute.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. So please go ahead. You have 3 minutes to do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Olorunfemi Modupe. I'm the co-founder of Afiki. Before now, prior to FI, it was Meat Food. So basically, Afiki is developing a B2B technology-based food distribution system. And the problem we are trying to address is that of the procurement managers of modern retail stores and also household consumers in urban areas. In Nigeria, we have about 50,000 retail stores, and who find it difficult to access value-added livestock products in a fast way. 80% of the procurement managers also find it difficult to administer livestock procurement better, leading to out-of-stock situations. Also, household consumers as well find it difficult to access this product because of their busy schedule and their lifestyle. So our solution for the procurement managers, we are developing an automated procurement management system that can help them to procure directly from farm to retail shelf. So we are cutting out the middleman so they get the price benefit of that. Our automated inventory management system is also going to be embedded with their point of sale system such that they can set stock norm that can trigger replenishment alert once the products have been depleted from the shelf. So we are helping them with data that can help them manage their strategy, forecast their demand, and ensure consistent availability. So basically, we are bridging the gap in food access and market security through an organized platform. So we are aggregating the demand from retail stores, aggregating the supplies from the farms and processors, and we match this onto the demand from the retail store. These are just some pictures of our sourcing, some of our ready-to-cook products and our ready-to-eat range, some of our third-party processing. These are pictures of our products in retail shelves. And our traction, currently we are servicing 68 outlets in Lagos, doing 7,000 USD a month, and we have Spar, Blanco, and some retail chains as our key customers. So our operational model, as I said earlier, aggregated demand to aggregated supplies through third-party processing, and we deliver. So our revenue model, we are operating a transactional model for the retail stores, then order to cash model for household consumers, which means they pay before delivery. So basically, our customer lifetime value is about $46 per customer. And for our market size, basically, we are looking at the meat e-commerce of about $4.9 million in Nigeria. And for our competition, we are looking at the major players. And for us, our unique selling points are automated ordering, automated delivery, inventory management system. Then for our go-to-market, as I said, we are using field sales representatives to reach out to the procurers. We are also discussing with manufacturers and also delivery vendors that can deliver to every part of Nigeria where you have an airport and you have our retail customers there. So for our ask, we're asking for about 120 USD, and we're looking at investing this in our field operations, operational vehicle, working capital, that is procurement of livestock and also processing contracts, then tech enablement. So basically, we're looking at 120 USD to reach 320 retail stores in 12 months, generating about 1.6 million in USD. For the team, this is me. I'm a food technologist. I have over 10 years experience in experiential marketing, integrated commercial planning, and field operations. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Femi, for the presentation. So any of our mentors, who would like to go first? Monique?
Let me go first. Oh, okay.
We like to
No,
go
no,
first.
no.
Okay,
Go,
Simeon.
yeah, Simeon goes first.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Simeon.
So, Boye, thanks. Olorunfemi, lovely business idea. I would love to dig deeper into what you're doing. Can you go back a bit? A lot of things are missing for me, based off of I couldn't tell a lot of things. Who's your customer? Is the customer the end user or the businesses in between? Like I got it lost a bit because you said your customer lifetime value is $46, and in my mind I was thinking Spa was your customer, so I was like a bit confused.
Yeah, absolutely. My customer, we have 2 customer focus groups. Basically, the primary one are the procurement managers, which we are starting with, and we are hoping that we can venture into B2C by serving household consumers over time.
Who's your customer today? Who's your customer today? You don't
My
have enough time.
customer now today are the procurement managers, the retail store owners, the supermarket managers, the supermarket owners.
So how come they are what $46? That's what there's a bit of a gap. You said they are what $46. Your lifetime value LTV was $46. No, go back one step.
Sorry.
Yes. You said,
No.
Oh, your customer acquisition cost. Oh, I thought I saw LTV. Okay.
Customer lifetime value for the retail stores, I segmented them into 3: small retail stores, medium retail stores, and as well as the large retail stores. So
how did you calculate this? Is it a 12 months recurring?
Yeah, this is 12 months.
12 months recurring, okay. Okay, so I mean, this is a great idea. I like it, but I think your axe is stupidly stupid, if I might use that bullshit word. If I tell my CTO he's going to build you a technology platform for $6,000, he's going to look for another job, because you are hinging. Go back one step.
Oh, yeah.
Remove this on the screen. No. That same. Just remove that. You're hinging your entire tech platform on $6,000. Your entire tech platform on $6,000. Like seriously. Who's your mentor? Who's your mentor at FI? Who did you give this bullshit shit to and he approved it? I need to talk to him. How could you approve $6,000 for your entire tech platform? Because what you're doing, you're too manual, and I see a lot of manual processes, and I think you're trying to quickly move it digital. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So if you're going to do that, I mean, I applaud you for the small one you've done, which is great, but you cannot spend $6,000 on tech. It doesn't make sense. It would throw off anybody that knows the real cost of tech. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to dig deeper, but absolutely love the idea. Absolutely think it's a worthy business to go into. I would support you any way I can. Yeah, it's a great, lovely idea. I have some other questions, but that would be it's a longer conversation.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I'll give you a 4. I'll give you a 4. This is absolutely.
Yeah, this is Monique. I was going to follow.
Thank you, Simeon.
Yeah. So Monique. Yeah. So I had similar questions, but I mean, you have for me. This is a platform play, and I agree in the sense that you're underfunding your tech part. I would also go to the question of, for example, your customers are procurement managers. Okay, it's also understanding the pain point. What is the pain point you're trying to solve for? Why are they coming to you? That's one. What are the areas around food safety issues that you are looking at? Food safety, the regulation component of it, because you're talking about procurement of livestock and processing. So clearly you're going to have some food safety issues here, how you're dealing with that. And that gets into, that gets into how you're going to be building your ecosystem. So those are kinds of the questions, very top of mind questions that I do have.
Okay, thank you. The first one, the pain point. The pain point we're trying to address for the procurers is, if you look at the ecosystem in terms of the competition and also the reality on ground, they are actually face some situations whereby it's difficult for them to access these products. It's also difficult for them in-house, to even know what is out of stock. For example, from the stores that we've been managing, the 68 of them, you see that most times they're totally out of stock and they call in for emergency supplies. And if you don't get it within the lead time, it's really like a problem for them. So basically, what we are doing is that we are having a system whereby we can agree with the outlet and they give us like a projection. Okay, these are the projections of what you think you can sell on these different SKUs. Then we can now say, okay, once we supply you, our system is integrated with your point of sale system. So you can monitor, you can manage your inventory system. You can set like a norm, a stock norm that, okay, once these SKUs are depleted below the unit, it can trigger an alert. Nobody's doing that currently.
I disagree. That's not possible. It's impossible. You can, first and foremost, you cannot integrate into a large retail chain's POS machine. They would never agree. I'm doing that today. It's not possible. You have to go through third parties. I can get you how to go through that door. That you go over that cliff. But what you're trying to propose is not going to happen. It will never happen. No SPA will allow you to integrate into their retail platform. Nobody. But you don't even need to. You don't even need to integrate. What you need to do is to get alert when their stock is low, so that you can propose to them a new products to be delivered to them. So what you need to do is not to check their inventory or get them to monitor their inventory. Do it for them. Don't allow them to do it for themselves. And that's where you become more valuable and more sticky, where you can figure out when stock is low and you can actually directly inform them that you're bringing more stock for them. You become very sticky. You're taking the burden off them, but don't allow them to do it. They won't do it. We can talk deeper. That's what I'm saying. We can talk deeper about this.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, and the second question in terms of how managing food safety, basically all the system and processes that is going to lead to the formation of our product will be managed using like backward integration system of extension workers. We'll have like our own staff that will give us data right from what the birds are being fed, the manufacturing process, and even our onboarding process will follow some quality measures that will conform to the quality expectations, the standards of our vendors, basically.
So let me interrupt a little bit because this is I do see potential here, but when I ask about food safety, it's a big topic. Who assumes the risk?
Oh, well, basically, it's going to be like shared risk because we are going to ensure that all our processing our partners are actually certified. They have the certification, especially in terms of the local regulation in Nigeria. We have Standard Organization of Nigeria. We also have like NAFDAC registration. So all these have to be certified, and we ensure that, okay, they are actually complying with these guidelines, basically.
So let me let me walk you through where I'm going here. So there's an outbreak of food poisoning or whatever. It's reported through to you. How is that risk? How do you manage that risk? This has happened. That's why I'm asking. Especially if we're talking about platform play and how you manage that risk overall.
Yeah, so this has to come up with. I think it's important that we're looking at integrating like a traceability system that we can actually trace this all our products, because remember that on the farms, from the farms and at the processing yard, we have our backward extension worker who gather this data for us. So it's easier for us to have like a traceability system integrated, so that if you have issues with any store, it's easy for us to really trace the farm where it comes from and try to really look at the critical control point and what we can do at that point.
Okay, that's all from my end at this point in time.
Okay, thank you very much, Monique. Please, mentors, don't forget to rate Femi. He's done okay, pretty much. So let's give him a candid rating. So who is next now? Okay, just to be sure, 1 second. Yes. Oshire Miza. Sorry if I am not pronouncing your name properly. I apologize. Oyofo, you're next, please. So can you put up your presentation so we can see? Is she still with us? I guess she needs to be unmuted. Okay, hi, welcome.
Hi,
welcome.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So do you want to
Hi.
present?
Yes, can you see my screen? I think it should be coming up now.
Yeah. It's coming up in a bit, I guess.
Yeah, can you see it?
No, we can't. Can anyone see it?
No,
we can't. No, we can't see it.
So you know you have to share screen, right?
Yeah, okay, so here, for example, it's showing that it's sharing. That's why I'm not sure why it's not working.
Okay, 1 second, it might pop up. Do you want to
Okay, I think I've got it.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, great. So before I start, I just want to say a couple sentences. I think earlier the point I was trying to make was not about niceness, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn and to get as much honest feedback as possible. I constantly put myself in difficult situations. I've worked at 6 multinationals. What I'm here for is looking for value and making sure that the feedback I'm getting is as close to valuable as possible. And I felt that the moderator should have pointed that out at that time. And I felt it was right to speak up. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Osiremiza Oyofo. I am the founder of Hair Envy. In the market today, women are responsible for 80% of the spend within the economy, and Black women are 9 times more likely to spend in the beauty industry than their non-Black counterparts. However, they are the most uncatered market. Therefore, it leads to persistent knowledge gaps within the hair industry, wastage, and it's usually at the expense of Black women. So what we are here to do is to solve these issues by providing a three-pronged solution: a custom-built luxury hair retail service, as well as boutique added services and advisory, and an interactive hub for hairstylists and clients. Step 1 is our retail business, and this is what we've used as traction to prove that there is a need for wigs and hair extensions that fit properly. In our first year, we made $5,000 across 15 clients. In our second year, we made $3,500 across 13 clients, and we believe that we will be able to serve 428 clients by 18 months and 1,439 as well. In terms of our services, we believe we'll be able to generate $110,000 in terms of selling just one wig at 428 wigs at $260 each, and probably 56,000 transactions, 1,500 transactions at $39 each. And we expect this to grow to 1.2 by 36 months and 1.7 by 36 months respectively. Then we lead to the second and third part of the solution. We have the Hair Envy Academy subscription mixed model. This is where we have a platform connecting hairstylists that are vetted and secure with consumers. So we have consumer subscriptions, we have pay-as-you-go options, and we have penalties for cancellation rates, and this is how we will be collecting our funds. We believe that by the time we have done 18 months, we would have generated $447,000, and that is across a total of, so that's $2,500, 2,500 consumers. Okay, I'll just stop it there and say that we predict to have done $447,000. And the number of transactions we plan to do in those 36 months, we would have done $296,000, $418,000, and all the way to $5,000 respectively, for a total revenue of $57,000. So okay, cool.
So are you done?
Yes, my time is up.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so good presentation. Mentors, who's gonna jump on first? Should we do ladies first?
Okay, can I come in?
Yes, please.
Okay, Osi, I think you have something good going. It's just quite unfortunate that we didn't get to the end of your presentation. But something actually in your strategy, your revenue generation, something that actually caught my attention is the amount that you intend to raise from penalties. Isn't that a little bit too soon? Is that a good strategy? I think I saw like $18,000 from penalties.
That's a great point. And I actually didn't think about that immediately. I guess in the first 6 to 9 months, that's something I shouldn't really do until people get more used to it.
You want to get a huge customer base. I'm not certain that penalties is the way to go.
Okay, thank you.
Eventually,
so when do you think I should introduce that? Is that a year later or maybe not at all?
Well, the truth with penalties is it's actually as you go, because you have to create a firm and loyal customer base first. That should be your focus. Okay. And it's when you now have, their loyalty and their allegiance that you can start introducing things like penalties, if at all. Okay. And interestingly, I know that this is, I don't think your customer base will be restricted to Nigeria. I think it's going to be global, because if you're looking at the Nigerian market, we don't do too well with penalties. Not that it won't be there, but you have to be very subtle. And I know it's not only the Nigerian market, I'm sure it's even global. You have to be very subtle about penalties. I don't think it is something you want to put out as a strategy and as a source of revenue.
Okay.
That's how far I've gotten. I'm sure that maybe the other mentors will have other things to say about. But you have a fantastic idea and good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Modupe.
You're welcome.
I can go if it's a problem. I can go.
Who else?
I can go.
Okay, awesome.
So just quick question. What are you tracking? Okay, so no, let's go back to the slide before this revenue model. Yeah, okay. This slide. Okay. Right. So two things that I would want you to consider here. First, there's a jump. There's a huge jump from year 2, which is your actual, to your projected in 2 years. Now there's a huge jump without explaining how you would get to that jump. Okay. Do you get my point? So there's nothing telling me why you went from $1,000 or $2,000 to £111,000. Nothing is saying why. Why is there that jump? Number one. Number two, what are you tracking? Are you tracking? Because there seems to be a confusion. You were focused on saying how much in dollar value, but I think you should focus on how many customers are walking through the door, because anybody that hears you're going to do okay, so for instance, hair is something everybody knows females go crazy about. I mean, I have one in the house, and I know for sure that happens. But the question is, how are you going to lock down this customer? So your projection should be based off of, we've done 15 customers monthly. We will, and that will give us yearly 600 customers. And if we can, expand this based off of this, we can get these customers and just give us the final value. You don't have to say, we've done 15 customers, $4,000. We've done 2 customers, $1,000. We've done 3 customers. It makes no sense. It drags your presentation. Just go straight to the points that make sense. Then the next one is a projection. You've not done anything on that yet, right? The next page.
Maybe it's in the other slides. I thought it was in the other slides.
It's just too much information, actually.
Exactly. So it's confusing. So your information is confusing. And I think you need to drill it down to just 3 basic figures that would jump out at people. Don't create this. This is not important. This is when you're digging deep and you're doing due diligence and stuff. Then people want to know, okay, so how did you arrive at this number? But you have to, what a pitch does is it gets people interested. You don't want to bore people. You need to create, for instance, the last picture, you'd see everybody was excited. Oh, okay, you're selling this, you're helping this person do this, and this is what you're going to get at the end of the day. Straightforward. But when you put too much figures, it becomes too confusing. What am I looking at? Am I looking at what the company is going to do, or what the company has done, or how it's going to do it? So you need to, and that's what killed your time.
Yeah.
And you didn't talk about you didn't really talk about where your strengths are. What is actually your strength? Is your strength a marketing person? Is your strength the fact that you've been in the hair industry for a while? What is that strength that you bring to what makes you different? What's that selling? What makes you different? Everybody sells hair. Go to television market, everybody sells hair. What makes you different? Why would I come to you?
Okay. Are you asking me? Should I respond? Okay.
Yes.
So what makes us different at the moment is we're very high touch. We're very big on customer experience. So we've gotten feedback that each one of our customers feels that they are literally our only customer. So in terms of from the consultation to the fact that it takes a certain time to get the hair because we order straight from the factory, and all the way even down to the measurements of the person's head and the specific colors we are using. It's not even just, but basically I'm just summing it up to say that it's our customer experience that brings people back, actually, because they feel heard.
So you are a Louis Vuitton as against a H&M.
Exactly.
So say that. I didn't see that at all. It didn't show anywhere.
Okay.
Do you get my point? Like if you started by saying we are the Louis Vuitton of hair, blah, blah, blah in Africa, it would make me understand, okay, this is high-end hair, blah, 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 and all that. So it tells me exactly what I'm going to look at. But because right now it tells me you're a hairstylist that is trying to go into technology platforms, that is trying to do so many things. So, but you're not hitting the right things as to what you need to do.
Okay.
Because your first page doesn't show me that. I don't know, your team, do you have a team?
So that's a great question. My team is myself, and I have a network of hair tailors. And this will also answer your second question, which is about what my strengths are. My strengths are, apart from my experience in the corporate industry, is also the fact that I guess you could call me a bougie kid who has grown up with 9 women in my house, 9 sisters. So I was already exposed very early on to beauty, how to manage it, how to use it, how to get better at it. And then basically just from my own research and the amount of time I've been working with hair, which is about 14 years now, that combined, my corporate experience, my upbringing, and this is also basically why I am the best person for it. And the hair tailors I have vary in terms of range of skills. And I work very closely with them to better them, to get them up to...
do you have your bushy filter on?
Maybe not.
You've actually said nothing.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, please. You can come on board.
Okay. I mean, I like the hotel vibe. Being a bougie kid kind of works for the soul of the platform. I mean, that I get. But I think one of the things, and I'm talking to everybody now. In other clients, most accelerators will attract technical founders, right? In Nigeria, most of the time, we are non-technical founders. So when people talk about building up a startup or building a tech-enabled platform or doing a platform play, what I don't see is a nuanced understanding or appreciation of what the game is all about. So if you have a platform like this that has a supply side and a demand side, there's a lot of considerations that go into what you need to build, which I don't think you spoke to. You understand? You spoke about the hair. You understand? You spoke about, I mean, the soul of what you're trying to do. I understand the vibe. You know that the brand is clear. You understand? But generally, I think everybody needs to pick up how to build software. You don't need to. I mean, as a non-technical founder, you're going to pair up. I mean, in your team now, there's a weakness. For example, there's nobody who is handling your technical side, and that narrative of if we get funding, we would employ, doesn't really work with investors.
Yeah.
So typically you should have done some form of interviews, somebody you want to work with. So what is remaining is just probably the budgets, what you need to pay the person. You understand? So your slides, your pitches don't leave anything to the imagination of the investor. You understand? Show, don't tell. Show us who's going to be working with you. Show us your go-to-market. You understand? Show us the constraints at the supply side and what you've done to address it. Show us the constraints at the demand side. You know, for example, any platform play in Nigeria must address at least 4 things: safety, you understand, the issue of price, the issue of efficiency, the issue of ease. You solve your ease by your UX, you understand, your UX UI. So where's your designer? Where's your design team? Who's going to speak to that? You understand? Your safety issues, I mean, things like insurance, how is it going to play? How does that dovetail into what the app or the platform looks like? You understand? And I'm talking to everybody now, not just OC. OC's presentation is fantastic. However, what we could just get, what I can get personally, for example, is the soul. And somehow you mirror the realities of the people who would patronize the platform. But beyond that, the platform itself, a tech-enabled play requires a form of understanding that I want everybody to glean. So one of the things I would suggest that everybody should read up on is something they call software development cycle. You understand? You need to know everything that goes into the building of your software. There's a software development cycle. There are 3 major functions you need to be able to handle or speak to. There's the growth side, there's the engineering side. You understand? There's the product side. So the product, most of you have an idea of what the product looks like. I mean, I can see where the customer journey comes into play and all that. But for growth and engineering especially, I think we are a little weak. Solution designs are a little bit faulty. You understand? And everything boils down to that. If you are raising money to build a runway for some specific things. I'm raising money to build a runway for engineering. I'm raising money to build a runway for product. I'm raising money to build a runway for growth, you know, and marketing and everything that is associated with that. So that's my 2 cents, you know, for everybody. I mean, I can see, I mean, it's not peculiar to FI. Generally, most of the people that have ideas in this climate are non-technical. You understand? But we need to learn how to pair up very well. Some people should pair up, for example. Some people within the court should pair up. You understand? So, I mean, we should learn to pair. You should learn to pair up properly. You should learn to. Everything boils down to the team. Investors invest in teams, not in individuals. Mm-hmm. You understand? They invest in business models, not in ideas. So these are things I think we should pay attention to. But I think these are conversations I will just take with everybody one-on-one. The people that I will be talking to one-on-one. Yep. All right, that's my contribution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is Monique. Just a few guidance here. Lots of great points that were said by my fellow mentors. One dangerous thing that you have to be very careful of is presenting a lot of numbers. Mm-hmm. The minute you present numbers, I've learned this very early, they'll take you down the bullshit path. You will be taken down the path and you will never get past page 1. So I think you have to be very careful about how much detail you put in. I mean, that goes to just the fundamentals. The other area is, it goes back to how you're sustaining yourself. You're on a contract basis. It's your brand. That's already been mentioned. What is your brand? It can't just be around an individual. You have to think about as a team. What happens if your contractors on hair tailors are no longer available? These are the types of things to think about. I'm just pointing out and amplifying, content that my colleagues have already mentioned. The other thing is around your ask. I don't know what your ask is per se, how much you were asking for what purpose. You have to be real careful about that. What is that amount and where is that amount going to be applied to? And how are you going to sustain that? I mean, if it's a big amount, and whatever that magic number is, I think I've looked at it through the fact that I'm about ready to assess you. You have to really make sure that people understand why you're asking for that. Where are you going to sustain that business moving forward? You take it beyond your competition and so on. There's merit in what you're trying to do here. I mean, I do see the merit. It's just, again, making sure that it's not about one person at the end of the day. That's just a feedback for you.
Can I just add to Monique's, which would sound like a question for OC, right? Mm-hmm. Why are you so something is working. From your first page, your first business model, you seem to say it is working. My idea of having retail stores, giving Louis Vuitton style services is working. Why are you now? Is it a pivot or an additional play that you don't know if it's going to work. Do you get my point? Like, why not expand? Why not build your entire acts around this is working, but we need to expand this. We need to get to, we need to get to better customers, better numbers, and all that on this, rather than having to spread yourself thin.
Right. And I think that's an excellent question, honestly. The answer I have is that I cannot sustain being this involved in this business for this long. It's just impossible. The dedication the time I spend on one, job is time I can spend doing other things. So what I'm trying to do through the high touch aspect is collect data that does not exist. So I'm trying to collect data about head sizes, preferences, etc., so that I can find ways to automate, also down the line, build an algorithm, because there really is no set data for Black women.
Exactly. So that's already a big business. Like that augments your first business. If you go to your page, financial for the first business, what you're saying is, why not use tech to drive this to that next level? Why are you using tech as a consumer side, supplier demand side thing? Why not use it to focus on this and say to yourself, how do I scale this? I can do 15 in an hour. How can I get to 100 an hour? How can I get to 1,000 an hour? How can I be the creme de la creme of when it comes to thinking about the hair? I want everybody to think about my brand. How can you get to that level when you use tech to enable that growth? That is exactly what you need tech for. You don't need tech for, like, there are things that you would do manually, I agree, but there are some things that you can actually do using tech. Right now, there's even AI that can take your hair size right from an app and get some certain things delivered. There are AIs that can put your glasses on your hair design and give you stuff. I just bought something for my wife where she doesn't like where the hair color is. She can just spray it on. And I bought it off a TV commercial. Like, hey, you can add color to your hair. And I bought it off a TV commercial. So the idea is you can use tech to actually drive this growth rather than try to go to something new that you are not sure might work. You get investment on something that works rather than something that you are trying to get into. No investor will want to get into that, except you're saying, hey, I have won this. I'm the queen of this. So I want to now do this based on the fact that I'm the queen of this. But you're not the queen yet. You need to get from 15 to 428. How do I get to 428? That's why I'm here. I need to build this. I need to build this platform. I need to get AI and blah, blah, blah. I need to get a tech that will do this and do that. It takes us 3 days to get one paying customer. We need to get it to 30 minutes. And to get it to 30 minutes, I have my ideas. I have done this, I've done this, I've done this. This is what I need. And this is what my ask is. I can do your pitch in 3 minutes and just get it straight tailor-made for this. So I have spoken to an AI tech here and stuff like that, and you can get it done rather than having to spread yourself into something, because it looks like I'm tired of your pitch. Sounds like I'm tired of this. I've done it for a while, but I want to do something else. That's how the pitch sounded.
And the other thing,
guys, sorry, can I?
I was just going to say.
Sorry, Monique, you want to go?
Oh, I was just going to say, be bold about be bold about it. You have something here. It's there. You got to be really bold about it. It's all about the narrative. Remember what I said in the beginning. It's all about that narrative. Take me on that journey. But I see something here. Thank you very much, colleagues.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monique. Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to say that, Osi, I guess you got into the shack, the real hot seat earlier, but I can see that we've all walked back from that. So trust me, there's nothing as important as entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs succeed. And here in Nigeria, we need it as much of that as possible. So rest assured. Something caught my attention during the recent question and answer session you were having, where you said you're trying to say, for example, get head sizes. I don't know what to say to you, but that thing you just said, that head sizes, head types, hair color, hair fit, that business alone, you don't even need to sell any hair product
at all.
That business
That's
alone,
$1
that
billion.
data, you don't need to do air for anybody. That business alone of being the master of air data in Nigeria, where all the people selling attachments, all the people selling air products, you can tell them, you can dissect their business crazily, but you won't get there. You won't get to that 1 million data set they want. You probably have, you probably need to sign up like 100 hairdressing salons and offer them something important. That's your stepping stone to where you are going. And tell them you need to, as part of their hair making processes, you're going to introduce some standardization. You're going to train their their hairstylists. But more importantly, you want them to make sure that all their hairstylists, all you want from them is that they must measure the head of everybody that is making hair with them. They must put the type of hair the person is using, the type of product. That's what you want in return. Maybe you collect 2,000 naira for training their people so that they don't think that it's completely free and you have a ulterior motive. That data, if you master it well, I'll stop there. You see that we like you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Abolore. Thank you. Mentors, please don't forget to rate OC. I don't know, do we have any other questions for her? I guess she did
Guys,
well,
in case
right?
I drop off, it's my connection. Sorry.
No problem. We totally understand. OC, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your feedback.
Yep. Thank you, Monique.
Thank you. It was really great being part of this.
Boye, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, his internet is playing tricks.
Okay.
So let me change my internet device.
Okay.
I'm changing my internet device. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry, yeah. I moved to my backup. Okay. So Chika.
Yes, please. Yeah, so we go to the last segment of the session today, which is the presentation of the go-to-market and scale, and it will be handled by Ife, Olatunji, and Simeon. I guess they are both ready. In terms of who would come first, Ife will go first, then Simeon will wrap up, and they have 15 minutes each to do that. So
I don't use
that's what we have.
So just spoiler alert, I don't use decks for presentations. I don't use them at all. I have conversations based on problems. So please, while Ife is speaking, just write your questions down and shoot any kind of question at me. I'm happy to help.
Professor, nothing to you.
Awesome.
So Ife,
okay, so yeah, so we can go ahead.
Can we all see the screen, please?
Okay.
Can we see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So basically, when it comes to talking about go-to-market, my approach, for this type of meeting, in 15 minutes, how much can I say? You understand? So I'm not going to go technical. I'm just going to go anecdotal. You understand? I just explain certain considerations I think people should have in mind when it comes to go-to-market. In a culture of celebrity status for tech founders, a culture backed by narratives of overnight successes of startups, most people are really thinking of going big. I can see that from our ask. I can see that from the type of projections we are making and all that. But what I found out is that getting your first 10K users, you have to go lean and go through. You understand? You have to be true to the metrics, and you have to be true to the game. So I'm just going to make a few conversations about things you should consider, as you think about going to market. A lack of candor blocks smart ideas, fast action, and good people from contributing all the stuff they have got. It's a killer.
Ife, please, can you make your presentation, your PowerPoint presentation one?
Like this?
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
Oh, all right. So one of the challenges we have in Nigeria is that we lack candor. I mean, working with other people in other climes, one of the things I enjoy about white people is the fact that they are direct. If something is not working, they call you out on it. You understand? If you're building things together with a team, and then we are positive to a fault. I'm not saying optimism doesn't have its specs, but then when it comes to startups and investors' money, you need to follow the best practice. You need to pay attention to the things that really matter. So candor is something that I think everybody should embody. As you think about going to market or launching, you need to be very, very candid with your figures, with your steps, with your methodologies and things like that. Okay? The post-COVID world calls for a radical candor. I'm coming. In startup orchestrations, more than any other time in history, go-to-market strategies and startup launches have to be structured to deliver real outcomes that can be measured and leveraged to deliver increasing value at scale. Your play has to make sense. And that's the summary of some of the feedback that you've got from the mentors today. Optimum cost of customer acquisition, for example, has to be factored in. Scalable, repeatable, and sustainable business models. You have to think about increasing value at scale. As you scale, we should be getting more value from the platform. And usually that's a problem in Nigeria because most people don't think through what they do. All these and more have to be baked into your go-to-market from day one. Go-to-market, overview. There's a lot of, when it comes to the tools and the platform and the, the tools, the methodologies that are available to the founder, there is a plethora of things you can do to launch. From acquisition, if you look at the leftmost side of the chart, from acquisition to engagement and retention to monetization, there's just a lot we can do, right? When it comes to channels also, there's a lot. Emails, SMS, there's just a lot people can do. But one of the things I'm saying we need to pay attention to is the lower part of the stack. Most of us are not very good with analytics, and most of us are not good with tech. You understand? Reading explainer videos on YouTube is not enough. Watching explainer videos on YouTube is not enough. Case studies is not enough. You need to get your hands dirty. You need to learn. You need to network. You need to learn from those who have built stuff before. And that's why I was saying that. This is my third cohort with what's it called now? FI. With another accelerator, I've done 4 cohorts. You understand? In between, I think maybe an average. Just to be conservative, I've spoken to over 120 founders in Nigeria, and I would say to a large extent, 80% or 85% are non-technical founders. And these are things that actually, if you don't pair up very well, if you don't complement that side of you, that technical side, I think your go-to-market will be faulty from day one. Okay, before you go to market, there are a few things you need to understand. I used to use this in every diet. Innovators bias is the major thing that we need to be very careful about. Sometimes we fall in love with our solution instead of the problem we're trying to solve for. At other times, the problem you are trying to solve for is too small as compared to other things you can do. For example, when it comes to, sorry, I'm calling you out again, OC. Based on our experience, she can actually scale what she's trying to do now with tech, but pivoting to becoming a data company, for example, analytics company, or becoming an infrastructure that other providers can leverage, it's actually a bigger problem. The issue of data in Nigeria, the issue of data in Africa is actually a bigger problem to solve. I'm not saying you should do it, please. I'm just making conversations. You understand? So one of the things we need to understand is that there is no solution that survives first contact with the market. Every time we get to market, we found out that most of the things we think about, is actually moderated by the customer activity or customer response. You understand? The best ideas will be shaped by the way people respond to it. Another thing we need to also consider is that users, customers, investors do not exist to help you achieve your dreams. You know, in Nigeria, don't develop a complex for to be a celebrity. Let me just put it that way. Don't carry a chip on your shoulder, you understand, to outperform your peers. Those who are probably, who have taken another part in life. Startups are not things you embark on because you want to achieve your dreams. No, you are there to solve problems for other people. Another thing is that users, customers, investors do not exist to prove your haters wrong. That people have not believed in you doesn't mean this startup way is the way you are going to, right the wrong. What is important is actually you finding a real need to solve for, and then moderating everything you do by data. So what's the startup? A startup actually is designed to search for a repeatable, a scalable business model. What investors invest in is actually not the idea. Not every idea is investable. Some ideas are actually ahead of their time. Like I said earlier, when we were just making conversation at the beginning, during one of the feedback sessions, I explained that there was the time there was a particular project I was working on. I thought I was actually bootstrapping an app, but the value chain was non-existent. And I'm talking about artificial intelligence. When I got into the game, the major backbone I was using then was IBM Watson. I was one of the major off-takers, of the Watson APIs. I assumed that what I was trying to do was to build an app, but really, the value chain from talent to the vendor side, the kind of APIs that are production ready, that value chain is non-existent. You understand? So I needed to think through what I was trying to do. The most important thing is not the ideas I had in mind. The most important thing was not the fascination I had with artificial intelligence. The most important thing was finding a problem to solve for, something I can build a business model around. And that led to several pivots. Some of the things we are also trying to do in Nigeria, I just want to say that by the way, it's not part of my slide. Some of the things you're trying to solve for with AI can be solved for with analytics. Predictive analytics can solve for some of the things you are trying to. People just mention AI and blockchain as if it's something that you can just, it's like a walkover. Some things can be solved by analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics. There's just so much, in that we can leverage. Okay, the customer development process, you guys must have done this. I'm not sure how FI is moving this particular cohort, but what is important when it comes to thinking about going to market is that you need to get out of the building. You need to talk to real customers. You need to talk to your customers. You need to talk to your partners. You need to talk to vendors. You understand? You need to design experiments. You need to run tests. You need to get data. This is very important. You have to make contact with the market before you have something valuable for investors, to invest in. Monetizable value. The strength of your revenue model at the startup level is called traction. Traction is the rate at which a business model captures monetizable value from its users. What you are trying to solve for when you go to market is actually building out your traction. So I'm going to move fast now. Some of us are building things that cannot be monetized easily, that are not monetizable easily. This is a popular schema of whether when you're using a waterfall process or you're using an agile process to build out a solution. The upper part is showing a way. You can build in a way that there's no usability. Now, if you look, when I look at some of the ideas we are pushing this particular quarter, I see that some people are actually making transactions already. You understand? So in building, you have to design your solution, which is what I'm saying that most people need to read up on software development cycle, how to build software generally. The way people build sometimes is not, they build in a way that is not usable, that cannot be monetized. You burn out of your runway on time, and yet you don't have anything ready for the market, to pay you for. So the agile process actually helps you think, and it's something you also factor into your go-to-market. As you go into market, it shapes your iterations, it shapes your pivoting. You understand? And what you push out from the engineering side to the product side, you understand, to the marketing side, everything has to be very agile. You understand? We don't have enough time, so I'm just going to keep going. This is what is important. This is what your traction is supposed to deliver for you. This is what your go-to-market has to deliver for you. Acquisition, activation. This the pirate metrics in the and that's why I said there's a lingua. There's a lingua to pick up on. When you talk and you use the right lingua, your investors can respond positively to you. So the pirate metrics actually is something that is popular generally in the startup circle. What you're trying to solve for with traction or with go-to-market or with marketing is acquisition, activation, retention, revenue, and referrals. And there are several tools, like I said. What should guide your deployment of tools, apart from the core offering, should be what you're trying, the metrics you're trying to measure. And these are things you have to bake in from day one. Okay? I'm going to leave this slide with you so you can always refer to it and get back to me if you have questions. But what I want to speak to now is this. We know so much about the product market fit, you understand? But there's another fit that is actually that precedes that. That's the problem solution fit. We have to fall in love with the problem. We have to craft an offer that can be sold, then built. For example, a couple of us have, anybody who's already making transactions now, that means you have an offer that is already working. So you have to work backwards from that into your solution, into both your solution design and also your go-to-market. What is important is to confirm whether what you have as an offer is already meeting the problems, is already solving for the problems you're trying to solve for, before you start talking about building out the product or building out the platform, you understand? So I'm just going to assume, I mean, if you are at this point in the program, you should have, by now, you should be sure of the problems you're trying to solve for, and probably your offers, what exactly the utility you're putting on the table is actually addressing the problems you have in mind, okay? You can actually create a minimum viable product or a minimum viable offer from understanding what your market requires. Now, most of us, during your ask, I mean, for most people, especially those who have not built anything yet, if you don't have any customer yet, if you don't have any transactions, that you've made happen, it's going to be tough for you to raise capital. So what you need to do quickly, if you're already having transactions, if you're not having transactions, for example, like Marie, for example, you have seven, I think it's about seven, is it 7,000? I can't remember the number. Can anybody tell me the number of people you have on your platform? Mary, you have Maria's. Can anybody remember? Hello.
7,000.
7,000.
Yes, you have 7,000 non-paying customers, on your platform. One of the things you can quickly do to be able to justify the investment or the investment ask generally is actually to build a minimum viable offer or a minimum viable product that they can pay for. You can use decentralized links, for example, to monetize. I mean, your use cases are so varied, but I'm just going to give an example just so that you can see what I'm talking about. What is important at this level really is to capture the transactions and the levers that are leading to the transactions. So for example, if you look at Instagram, most people on Instagram who are creators or makers, they use what we call decentralized links, like Linktree. Linktree is an example of decentralized links. We have Gumroad. How many people know Gumroad? We have Patreon, for example. These are links that allow you to monetize, you understand, without building your own platform. So what I'm trying to say is this: there should be a minimum viable offer, something you can offer them that they can pay for, you understand, that can convert them to paying customers. So by the time you are now talking about your ask, you're actually asking for specifics that can allow you to build out your runway. Oh, I need to build out my engineering runway to be able to do such and such. I need to build out my growth runway to be able to do such and such. So what I'm trying to say is this: your problem solution at the level of being able to identify the solutions you are solving for, the problems you're solving for, you can actually create an offer that can go live using existing platforms. Traction is very, I mean, FI talks a lot about traction. Traction is very critical when it comes to talking about investment or trying to ask for investment. Traction in terms of having monetizable value. At that level, you can test for the amount of users in terms of the churn. How many users are coming back to get stuff from you? How many users are on the platform? How many users remain on the platform after a transaction? You understand, the cost of your customer acquisition can also be projected with real indices if you can simulate it that way. Moving forward, people talk about market product fit or product market fit, depending on who is teaching you at that time or the framework you're trying to use. But there are other fits you need to consider. The market must fit the product. or a better way to express that would be the product should solve for the right need in the market. But then you also have to consider the channel and also the model, the business model you are using. The channel, for example, if you have a product like the one Marie is using, the channel of exposure, for example, the channel of marketing, the channel of monetization must be consistent with the type of product you're trying to push. And that's what I was talking about. For example, info products can leverage a lot of decentralized links. So for each of our products and services, there are several types of channels that are not, they may not be mainstream, that can actually help you gain traction very quickly and then help you justify or validate your business model. Let me put it that way. Validate your business model. So what you want to see is a congruence between your problem solution fits and also your market product channel model fits. All this will be factored into your go-to-market. If you're going to market, there's a way you can bake these indices in, things that can test for each and every one of these. What is important, sincerely, when you have sessions like this, is to pick the keywords. You still have to Google it, you still have to study on your own, and probably can follow up with the mentors and ask questions. So I'm just trying to expand your mind and show you that there's a mindset and there's also a framework, for thinking through going to market. One methodology that would help you bootstrap, not for everybody, but one methodology that I think everybody should learn is direct response marketing. Like I said, at the beginning, I showed you a stack that had several things you can do, you understand? And I mean, there's no point reinventing the wheel or rehashing facts that you can actually Google up yourself. But what I just want to do tonight is actually bring your attention to some things probably that you've overlooked or probably you've not heard about. Why is direct response marketing very critical? Direct response marketing actually evokes an immediate response. It compels prospects to take some action. It could be to opt into your email list, for example, to pick up the phone and call for more information, to place an order, to visit a web page. If you remember the pirate metrics I talked about, your go-to-market must be designed in such a way that people take immediate action. If you're talking about the amount of people on your platform, for example, those things are not actionable. Those things are outcomes of things you do. Revenue is not actionable. It's a product of something you do. You understand? So if you are going to be able to have things to show on your slides, you have to understand how direct response marketing works generally. You may not implement it exactly the way is being taught or is being done on the blog. You understand? Because I mean, the community in Nigeria is not totally online. Your game is actually offline. We're trying to use tech to digitize the process. But the nuances and the notions are actually important. If you understand the way the notions or the language of direct response, you will be able to build go-to-market strategies that are on point, one. Secondly, that can actually help you gather the metrics that you require. One thing you need to understand about bootstrapping, you're not bootstrapping the entire operations. You can't bootstrap forever. When you're bootstrapping to be able to get the investor-facing metrics aggregated. Bootstrapping is about getting investor-facing metrics aggregated. There are questions that will be asked. There are things they want to see in your slide. So you walk backwards from the pirate metrics to build a go-to-market plan that can actually capture those things that are important. So unlike branding, results are immediate and more importantly, measurable. That's what you want to do. So there are other things you should do for go-to-market. I mean, like I said, if you Google it, you're going to find a plethora of information. But one thing I'm trying to encourage, based on some of the use cases I've seen for this quarter, based on my experience in Nigeria, one thing I think our founders need to know how to do is how to get immediate response, from their prospects generally. So direct response marketing is trackable, is measurable. You use headlines that are compelling because you need to play up the offers of the platforms. It targets a niche audience. You're not trying to reach everybody. It is irresistible, it demands a response. It is multi-step, short-term, and there's follow-up. You understand? It's very responsive. You are testing things. I mean, there's something they call A/B test. If you remember the growth stack I showed, the lower part was talking about tests and analytics, insights. These are things you need. These are things everybody can pick. Don't feel intimidated. If you give it enough time, you can pick, even as a non-technical founder, you can pick the lingua one. You can also pick the methodology. Better still, you can pair up with somebody that will be doing it, right? So these things are important. It's a go-to-market for startups. It's actually real time. You need to be able to measure results in real time. You're not throwing Hail Marys. You need to, as you do stuff, you need to measure, then course correct. You measure, you course correct, you change your offer, you change your model, you change your channel, and things like that. All right. This is a framework. There are different frameworks for direct marketing. This is a framework I want to introduce. I mean, there's the foundation part, there's the floodgates, there's the funnel pages. Now, for the foundation, we talk about avatars or your customer avatar. Who is your customer? So your go-to-market would actually speak to your avatar. It will speak. There's a message. There's something that communicates the value prop that you have for them. There's an offer. What I want to say is that you have to spend, we spend 80% of the time designing the solution. So whatever you do in terms of go-to-market activities, it has to be in such a way that you can measure feedback and actually pivot, iterate, and keep working on your offer until it is solid. You understand? Funnel pages, I mean, there are different things you can do to get people to exchange their data, with the platform. There are different things you can do to actually, show why your platform is different from other people. We call that authority amplifiers. And there are conversion events that you have to build in. You understand? So there's no way it's a technical thing. It's a technical discipline. I can't exhaust that tonight. But these are things I think you should research. Then begin to use that mentality as you use other levers of marketing, to launch your product. Traffic source. Traffic is the last thing. You understand? If I'm going to give you an acronym, I would say OFT. OFT. O for offer. F for funnels, then T for traffic. Traffic is the last thing to think about. If your offer is wrong, you're just burning money. There will be no conversion. You understand? If your app is not solving the right problems, or if there are bugs, you understand, you're going to be having churn and you're going to be wasting a lot of money. You understand? So what you need to do is to understand generally how direct response marketing works. Take the mentality and now begin to use that in marketing and for every other thing you do when it comes to consumer-facing activities, consumer originating activities, consumer onboarding activities, and things like that. So that's my 2 cents. I don't know if you have questions specifically that you want me to respond to.
Thank you very much, Ife. Great presentation, great insight. I think we've all actually learned a thing or two. And I'm sure the founders can't wait to actually get your presentation so they can actually chew it. I think we should take, I don't know, should we take Simeon's presentation, then take all the questions after, or are you willing to, because time is fast spent. Maybe we can take 1 or 2 questions from the founders. I guess since you guys are all muted, you can actually signify maybe if you raise your hand, and so that you can be unmuted to ask a question. I think maybe 1 question because of time. Okay, so no questions. Okay, Simeon, you can go on then.
Okay, guys.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, is everybody here? I actually want a conversation.
Yes.
So first and foremost, everything I'm going to tell you is bull. Don't take everything. Take the one that pertains to what you want to do, and just run with it. I'm always available to help when I have to. So everything I'm going to say is meaningless until you actually activate them. So having said that, let's dig into. I've broken down my discussion into 5. Please, you can stop me. I love confrontation. I love confrontations. Right? So stop me anytime you see something pertains to you and you want to dig deeper. It will only help the other cohort members. So I've broken it down into 5 things I'm going to be talking about. 1, Ife did a lovely job, breaking down all those things. But for me, that was too much talk. I want to do the. So I'm going to break it down into 5 things. 1, do unscalable things to achieve scale. That's the first I'm going to talk about. Number 2, always track feedback. Number 3 is your customers are never wrong. I know a lot of people would argue that. Number 4, collaborate, don't compete. Number 5, clearly define in English language that a 2-year-old can understand what your USP is. No jargons. Now, having said that, let's go straight to go-to-market strategies. I'm going to be taking a lot from my background and what I've done and all the mistakes I've made and all the corrections I've done so that you can learn from it. So a quick feedback. I don't know if everybody here knows who I am, apart from the FI team. Who is Kolawole Oshinowo? Hello? Is Kolawole Oshinowo still here?
Yeah, Simeon, I'm still here.
Can I see your face, please? I want to be sure it's the Kolawole I know.
Yes.
Ismail Gao. I said, who is this? This guy is the guy that gave me first job, the first job that made me blow. This is the guy that gave me to
Hi, Simeon, I'm still learning. Very well, I'm still learning.
Okay, you see now, this is one of those that gave me my first opportunity. So I want to thank him very much. Give me the opportunity to build GT Bank Move for GT Bank when he was with Nokia. So thank you very, very much. I know the name. I am sure it's not my Oga, but I have to say something. So do unscalable things to get scale. I've learned a lot from my mistakes. And that's what I was trying to tell a lot of people. When you're trying to create go-to-market strategies, first and foremost, make sure you understand where you are going, the market you're going to attack. Do not think that you can just win by magic. It doesn't work by magic. If you're going to go after a market, focus on that market and know exactly that market which you're trying to achieve. And I learned this from one of my mentors, one of the founders of YC, and it says do unscalable things to actually achieve scale. Meaning go and do something physical. Make sure that this is actually your customer. So I'm going to take you back. When I was launching Thank You Cash, after my failures with Simple Pay, I was launching Thank You Cash. And the first thing we thought to ourselves was, we're not going to make a mistake. We're going to go to a customer, sit down with the customer, make sure that this thing works. So what we did was simple. We built our own Pakoro device. We went to the airport. We told Dana, you just crashed your plane. Customer does not come to you because you are a bad business. We sat down with them. We told them the truth. And we told them, guy, but I can help you grow your business. Give me 5% that you normally give your traders that trade tickets for you, and just watch me make you win. And that's what we discussed with them. And they said, oh, okay, try it now. Let's see. We built a small device. Let me share my video. We built a small device. You guys can see what this is, right? This is a POS machine, right? We built a small one. We put our app on it. We can build apps. We put our apps on it. And we went to the airport and we started selling. We did all our own money. Yeah, we didn't borrow money. 450,000. I can even give you a breakdown because it's here in my head. We paid 450,000 for space in the airport. 400,000 per month. Guy, it was serious money. 450,000 we paid for space. We sat down. We were selling tickets for Dana Airlines. What were we doing? We were trying to make sure that what we were trying to sell was going to work. What did we say to ourselves? We told ourselves that customers are not going to buy stuff if they don't get something back. There has to be something that you are giving to them to clear that fear factor. And what is that thing? They need to get cash. So what we did was we said to ourselves, people like alerts. So let's create a service where they can get real alerts. So they get alerts, but what do they do with the alerts? Can they spend the alert? Yes. They can use that alert and go and buy food. While they're waiting for their plane, they can go and buy food at the airport. By the time we were able to do that, Dana grew 42%. We were tracking it every day. Dana grew 42%. We were taking 5% from them for the ticket. We were giving the customer back instantly 3.5%. We were keeping 1.5%. And Dana was growing very, very fast. Two things was happening. Ghana was allowing us to keep the money, the entire money in our bank account. We're trading with that overnight. So we're making some small money to even pay for space that we're using. Then we're getting data. We knew we were paying with cash. We knew we was paying with card. We knew what customers were coming in, man, woman, married, single. We knew children. We knew everything, and they were growing. That for us told us that this could be scalable. We now said, we don't want to scale this. We want to build one of these devices and put it in more places. Let's even show that one can win. What about 5? What about 10? Let's even start with that. And that's when we started doing what was scalable. Now, were we listening to customers? Yes. We're listening to our customers because we were giving people that were paying with card because it was a device. People who were paying with card were collecting their money. We weren't collecting real cash at that point. When we got to YC, they asked us a question. They said, Nigeria is a cash economy. Why are you not collecting cash? Why are you not giving people reward for paying with cash? Do you know, we went back, we added that to it. We said, when you pay, give us your phone number, pay us the cash, we keep the cash. And we did everything that was not scalable. Remember, not scalable at all. But it gave us data to tell us that these customers want this, merchants want this. When we sell this service to the merchants, they understand it. They know who their customers are. They can send SMS directly to their customers. They can congratulate their customers. They can give their customers more. Customers are happy because customers will earn reward from one merchant and go and spend it, creating a loop where all the merchants will now have one customer. So they have thousands of customers sharing in between customers. So we were able to prove that, and we now moved to the next level. Next level was, let's go and talk to other merchants. Using the data we already acquired, and your botting, different merchants botting. And your botting, we grew from $1,000 in a month to the history. We've done over $100,000 monthly and all that. So the idea is you have to figure out what is that unscalable thing. And when I look at most of your businesses, you can actually achieve that. When I look at most of your businesses, you can actually achieve that. You can actually achieve the unscalable things. But you guys your mind is set on, they say I should build platform. We need to build platform. When we build platform, somebody will just miraculously come to your platform. Nobody will come. You have to go and sell the platform. And I was telling all the other people, I mean, we've spoken to, is it Ozzy? Is it Ozzy? From Ozzy's business, I can bring out 30 different businesses that we blew. But you need to figure out, what does the customer really want? Does the customer want you to build a new platform, or does the customer want you to actually expand the old platform? Does the customer want you to do, you have to get data. Don't assume. For you to get that go-to-market strategy very well, you have to get data first. Data must push you and follow you through. Don't just wake up and say, I want to sell to 1 million customers. Yes, Nigeria has 207 million people. Trust me, not 20 of them will buy from you. So you need to figure that out first. Do unscalable things to actually achieve scale. Please ask any question, please. Please. I like conversation.
How are we going to do this now? Because most of the guys are actually on mute. So so can you signify if you have a question to ask so that I could call you out and you can be unmuted, or who has a question to ask? Okay, Samuel has a question to ask, please. So can he be unmuted?
Do I have my video? Hi, Simeon. Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. So I'm running a bit. My company is developing a multi-format streaming platform, and we want to do short-form Afrocentric content, video and audio. And so, what is that thing that, when you talk about not scaling, what is that thing that we can do that, like what you said, the thing that does not scale in that sort of business?
So let's look at your business, and we'll use this as an example to break it down. Okay, let's look at this to break it down. I like to watch your face when I'm talking. So you're building, if I get you very well, you're building Quibi. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're building Quibi, right? Okay, cool. So you're building Quibi. For those guys who know Quibi, Quibi is a short film platform on mobile. So if I'm going to work in San Francisco and I'm going to the office, I can watch a movie while I'm on my way to work, or I'm driving and stuff like that. I can watch an entire LED movie. So what they did was they put your 2 hours movie into 10 minutes, and you can still consume the same data and you can enjoy it. Now the question is,
actually, so it's Quibi and Spotify in one. You know.
Okay.
So.
Okay, with music, cool. So the question is this: who's your customer? Who's the customer you're trying to achieve that with? Now, have you built a platform? If you build a platform, then your unscalable thing that you have to achieve is get a focus group that would use that service for free. Figure out a way to get it for free. Now, and another way you could actually go to market is collaborate. So look for someone that will benefit from the business side, and their customer will benefit from that service. And I'm going to take you through it. For instance, if I were you and I was on your board, I would figure out where can I get people. I would figure out my persona. So who is my persona? Is it the hardworking guy that is tired in traffic and wants to just watch a movie while he's going to work? Is it someone else consume music while he's going to work and wants to complete the movie before he gets to work? So that's why it's short film. Now, I need to figure out that persona. So once I figure out that persona, the next thing I do is look for who already has this persona as a group. So for instance, who has merchants? The banks. Who have POSs? PTSPs. So I know who to go after. Do you get my point? They have 100,000 PTSPs. 100,000 merchants that have PTSPs that are linked to them with their banks. So I know who to go after. So I go to the bank and I make a proposal. Let me work for you. Let me do this thing for you for free. I will give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you this for free. But your bit is to give it to your customers to try it out. And after you get those customers locked in, you lock your business and tell them, oh, to continue the platform, so you're going to enjoy, pay $10. Then from there, you go to $20. Then from there, you go to $30. You've locked them in because you become sticky. But you need to figure out for your kind of business, where is that? There's that focus group that you can actually penetrate first. Is it a school? Is it work? Are there disgruntled workers that are tired driving home and they're in buses, they want to watch a movie, they want to listen to music? Figure out who owns those. It can be a startup that owns those focus group. It can be a startup. It doesn't have to be a big conglomerate. It can be Kuda Bank that has funky card carrying customers that you can sell it to. It can be anybody. So figure out who are those big businesses that you can actually sell your service to. Don't compete with them, sell to them. Now, if it is a TV station, you could actually say, wait, I can take your content and shrink it down into bits and resell it for you. All I need for you to do is give me free airtime to actually advertise this, or give this to this focus group of customers. You need to figure out who is it that I'm not going to compete with, but would make my service work. That is that person you're looking after. Once you look for that person, then you now do the unscalable thing. You go dress up and go to the office and sit down with them and let them use the service. Let them give you feedback. Oh, we're still building this in-house. And this is what I did. I did it with Enyo. I sat down in Enyo office almost every day for almost a month. I would talk to the CFO. Do you like the service we're giving you? Do you see the amount? What don't you like? There was crime yesterday. How do we feed this? That's how we built the entire business. But I was sitting in somebody's office, begging him for space, just to sit down and let him use my service. By the time you do these things, you can get a sense of where you're going with the business. Once you get that customer, and you can show that this customer likes my service, then the next level is, how do I expand this? So it's either you're expanding the use of your platform, or you're expanding the revenue, or you start generating revenue. You don't have to do both. You can actually start with proving that this thing people want it, then from there you can grow. I don't know if I've helped you.
You've done amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Simeon. So I guess first time has been fast spent. Thank you very much for this insight, Simeon. We should wrap up by now. Thank you, all the mentors. Thank you for all your insight. Thank you for your experience. I think the most important thing is actually learning the mistakes you guys have made so we won't have to reinvent the wheel, pretty much, because there's no point reinventing the wheel. Let's just learn from the experiences of the people that have gone before us to actually work on great companies that they are currently in, and let's use that to actually fast track our own process of building sustainable businesses in Nigeria. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Ife, for your go-to-market strategy. As I said, even I myself, I want to read your presentation. It's something that, yes, will go a long way to guide us as we actually try to build our products to fit the market requirements. Okay, so let me hand over to CFA. He's popped up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. If you have your hands raised, or you want to say something, or that's an old hand.
Yeah, I wanted to ride on what Simeon said on doing unscalable things.
Okay.
I mean, that's very, very crucial, actually. And that's why I was talking about the fact that what you need to do is just to make the transactions happen, with or without a technical, a tech platform. You understand? Now, you may have a tech platform that is low fidelity, or what I mean by that is that you are using existing tools. You've not built something unique or custom. For example, you're using like an e-commerce platform like Shopify, to push a particular idea. Or you're using, what I'm just saying is that you can use an existing technology platform to validate your idea, but you don't want to get to an investor pitch without metrics, without proof that your idea can work. Without something, you understand? So unscalable that was talking about, that is the biggest takeaway when it comes to go to market. Unscalable things meaning it's high touch. You have to be there physically to convince the person to use your product. You understand? You trade, you do some form of barter, you do some form of negotiation and all that. So don't rely on building your features out completely so that you don't build the wrong solution, you don't build a fantastic solution for the wrong problem. So build something using any low fidelity, any form of lean platform that's already existing, but get people to use it. And if you are, let's say what you're saying is, what you're trying to do is actually very heavy on tech, and you've built it out, it's still the same thing. You need to get out of the building. Don't rely on automation. Get there, toast them. Toast people to use your product. But let me tell you, that's the biggest takeaway when it comes to go to market. So I feel like I should actually get it to you, because most people are stuck. They usually get stuck at this point. There's no uptake, nobody's opting in. No, you have to get somebody to use it. And if you can get a cluster, like the examples you gave were fantastic examples. Get a cluster, somebody who has a large subscriber base to give your product for free to the user base, man. That is the best way you can validate the demand. So that's just what I wanted to add.
Okay, thank you very much, Ife. Thank you, Simeon, and thank you all the other mentors. We deeply appreciate your time and your commitment. Just to say a few things, one of the things that Ife, touched on this evening is something that even at the HQ level, is being looked at. The honest truth is that one of the reasons why we were happy to get Boye on the team is because we want to help as many founders as possible have the right ask or make the right ask at every point in time. Saying before mentors that you want to raise $200,000 because you want to build, because you are planning to build an MVP, it doesn't work that way. In fact, in the next curriculum of FI, which is in the curriculum 5, we are not going to graduate founders who can't build a product before they leave. There are many software solutions. There are many drag and drop that you can use to show an MVP. So all the stories that you want to build a tech, it's not going to work. If I see your hand up again, or is that an old hand? Okay, so it's not going to work. Okay, hold on. It's not going to work, right? So guys, I want to encourage everyone to please make the most of the FI network. So let me give you a story. I know I've not said it to the people here, but let me give you a story. In March, I started a program in Founder Institute called the VC Lab. Simeon was one of the first people I reached out to when I was trying to build a deck with the couple of guys I'm working with on that platform. So the name of the VC company is Spacer Ventures. in that VC company, because I couldn't meet up with the FI standard, remember, I am FI's regional director. I have helped FI build at least 12 different chapters. So I am close to Adeo. Adeo respects me a lot. But guess what? I dropped out from cohort 1. Why? Because I couldn't meet the standard. Now in cohort 2, now, which is where we are, we're in the 12th week. In the 12th week, even as close as I am to HQ, we have done 3 special assignments. In fact, the warning for the last special assignment just came now. Now, guess what? We have raised $320,000 US for a $5 million fund. Adeo still said to us, if you don't meet 10% of the money by 4 p.m. today, you are going to drop out. So guys, you see, in FI, dropping out is normal, right? If it doesn't match you or you think it's too harsh, drop out. I'm telling you that I'm this close to HQ and this is what I'm going through. So the only way forward now is that because we've not been able to get the remaining $180K commitment to match the 500K, which is 10% of $5 million fund, the only option left to us now in the next 4 or 5 hours is to drop it from $5 million to $3 million. Otherwise, we are out. And that is since March. This is October. So guys, no hard feelings. Building is tough. It's hard.
I mean, I have a passion, and my wife says this all the time. I have a passion for people to build stuff, but build it right and learn from the people that have made mistakes. Guy, I did go learn. The guy that just had a call with me, he just sold his company for $120 million. He's 23 years old. He's the one telling me who is running product. I would love to see the person running product. I said, I'm the one running product. He said, yeah, so book a time on my calendar. And guy, that 23-year-old boy, they tell me like this. His 17-year-old brother is running a fund. His 17-year-old brother is running a fund and calls me and says, I love Thank You Cash. I would want to be the one to run it in America. And I'm like, Alex, how old are you again? He says 17. I said, see me still trouble. See my gray hair. 17-year-old boy, they give you 10 assignments. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is no shame that we did not learn it. And that's what I don't think it was the guy that said it. There's no shame. There is at all. Guy, I know learn them. I didn't learn them now. I will learn them well. So that my future generation can do the best out of it. Guy, there is no I pass my neighbor. Most of you are better than me. But the fact that I have this small experience, I can get it anywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am 500 startup. I'm one of their go-to guy for Africa. They send me anything in Africa. Anybody you see that's entered 500 startup in the past 3 weeks in Africa, I had to assign to it. There's a Kenyan guy that's been calling me. I've been having meetings just to get me to approve him so that 500 startup will give him money. They just wired his money now. So at the end of the day, guy, I have attained some level of respect. And I know how I got there. It was not by, getting angry because somebody told me rubbish or somebody insulted me. Get angry. I work with Rashid Olaoluwa. Rashid will insult you.
Yeah.
Rashid Olaoluwa will insult. Yeah. I said, guys, sir, we made $40,000 this month. He said, so what? I beg you. How many of your mates are doing better? How many of your mates are doing better? Guy, we made $40,000. Somebody said, are you, my guy, do you know what was that? That's millions. Tens of millions now we do. Yeah, we don't do $20 million, then 20 million naira in COVID. And you are telling me that I've not done anything. I have to take pack my paper and go and lick my wounds and go, guy, it takes a lot to build a business. And you are short-handed. You are Nigerian, you are black, God bless you, are a woman, I don't care. You are short-handed. You already have the short end of the stick. First, you are Nigerian, it's a curse. Because people will bring you down. You are black, another cause. Then you are woman, another cause. Men, at least they will respect you small. Women, they don't even respect. My wife has fought to get to where she is. She's CFA's cousin. She has fought hard to be where she is. Respected amongst women, respected among people. She's fighting every day. That's why you don't even see us together in public forums. She takes her own thing. She's responsible for the operation of the company. People should talk to her with respect. She's fighting to it. She knows she will fight it. So if you're a woman, please don't feel disheartened. Don't feel like I am bringing you down, or I am here to help you.
Simeon,
I can commit 15 minutes of my time to you guys if you guys want it.
Simeon, have you shared your Calendly with this? I think you should share with this cohort. I mean, Simeon has always been one of our most helpful mentors. And bro, we deeply appreciate your commitment. You know, Ife has been there. You know, thank you guys. So founders, I know that we have just about 7 weeks to the close of this cohort. And, you know, I sent a mail this evening because some people have been asking questions. And each question you ask the HQ, of course, you know, it's rooted back, you know, and the truth is, you know, I don't know what you feel about the 4%, but honestly, it's FI's model, and that's the way it is, right? Everyone, YC would tell you for 6%, you know, for maybe 100K. People have different models. FI's model is not funding. FI's model is support and structure. One of the founders in cohort 2 is about to close a $500 pre-seed. I mean, it depends on how far you can go with your dreams, how far you can go with the network, but it's a huge network for everyone to explore. So yeah, we want to help you succeed. One of the reasons why we are also extending to see how we can create a portfolio desk that Boye would head, you know, is just to see that we help you build right. We want you to succeed, but we will be blunt. Guys, I don't do office hours, but if you ask cohort 1 or cohort 2, I mean, I do office hours at the very tail end. I mean, because my time is very precious, so I wait until those who survive after mentor progress review. So, I mean, from the 10th week, that's really when I start to give a bit of time. But I am probably also one of the bluntest that you can come to. So, like, I tell you the way it is, man, because that's the same way, you know, Adeyo and the rest of the HQ team will tell you, you know, pump and plain how it is. But yeah, thank you guys for, you know, your commitment, for trying to build a right, for trying to, you know, disrupt or trying to bring solutions to various industries. We appreciate you guys. We are vested in your success. We want you to succeed because we know when you succeed, that's when we succeed. So we'll do everything we can to help you succeed. But it is, you need to own it, right? You need to own it, and you need to be able to understand that everything that we do or say is actually for your own good, to the best of our ability. You know, and I always say it to all the cohorts, FI is different. I can't explain to you, but I know it's different. I attend our global calls, I know it is different. The way Adio gives feedback, I know it's different. It's all like different, you know. In fact, he swears, you know, we don't swear here, but he swears, like he swears at you. If you want, you drop out, but he will swear at you, you know. But personally, I love him because I know that he's doing it because he wants you to become better. If Adeo didn't push us the way he has pushed us, there is no way we would have raised $320,000 for a VC firm that just started as an idea in March. It happened because of FI's push. So FI is designed to push you beyond limits. That's the way we operate. So Boye, your meeting, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.
All right then. But I think we had one hand raised. I don't know if we can take
I
a
want to
final
share
question.
my calendar now. 15 minutes.
Okay.
Just 1 minute. It's fastest fingers, though. God bless you, people. Though.
All right then.
2 a day, so it's fastest fingers. I beg.
You want to share it now, Simeon?
Yeah, I'm sharing it now.
Okay, awesome. Have you shared it?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What you're saying. I'm just trying to edit some things.
No, I think we had one hand raised, but I think it's down now. So it's just for us to probably just thank everyone again, and we appreciate all the comments and all the feedback. Also, just to also add, and pretty much, I know most of you guys have not really met me. I'm here to actually work you guys so that work with you guys so you guys can actually understand what numbers are all about. Pretty much, sometimes it might not be expedient for you to put a certain amount in front of an investor. if you didn't go to Harvard, really, you're not sold a $120 million company. Again, you need to tread cautiously when you want to raise money, when you're speaking with investors, because investors are really picky people, right? So they are going to look at what kind of experience you have, what kind of do you have, what school did you go to, have you worked in a previous startup? Pretty much they have startup experience. So these are the things that will actually give these people concern. So a question, an answer I always give people is that the founder, Shagaya, when he wanted to start ULS, his pre-seed was, I think, was about $3 million. And he could do that because he's already sold a couple of companies before he went to Harvard. So it was easy for him to just tell investors that, you know what, I want to start something that is basically an idea, and he could raise $3 million as pre-seed. So again, when it comes to fundraising, we need to be cautious. We need to look at our strengths. And again, it might not be advisable for you to raise so much money, because once you do that, you're actually selling your lifeline. You're selling giving your best right to an investor pretty much. So it's most likely preferable for you to raise in tranches. How much do you actually need? So you can get traction. Based on the traction you now get, you can now meet investors and say, you know, investor, I've done this. I need more money to scale. At that level, the story will actually be better. So again, just to say that I'm available, I will share my office hours this week so we can actually begin to talk about understanding what your numbers and how your numbers should be presented, when you should do evaluation, if you need to do evaluation, how should we value you pretty much, how much capital do you need, what kind of capital do you need to raise, what will be the terms for the capital you're raising. Simeon was asking someone then that if I give you $50,000, what will I get? Pretty much, you're supposed to say you're going to get a certain percentage in my company. So pretty much we need to understand the lingo as rightly said. So as we begin to progress, we'll begin to learn from ourselves, and I'll begin to share with you guys what we need to see and what we need to understand. Simeon has actually shared his calendar, so I think first come, first serve, you guys might need to quickly rush to actually get that done. How many slots did you leave available, Simeon?
So it's two slots on Wednesday and Fridays. But guys, I see that some people are booking. One person is booking so many slots on the same day. Guys, calm down. Just one slot per person.
Okay, so yeah, I want to just say good night to everyone. It was nice.
Somebody has even booked today. Calm down now.
Thank you very much, Simeon. So yeah, we've ended today's session. So hopefully, let's get back to work, guys, and let's get cracking. There's no time to sleep. There's no time to slumber. We just actually have a short time. So let's get back to work. All right. Good night, everyone.